It's muted. Okay.
Good morning, everybody. Hello, Eye for Beauty, Southern Charm. How are you guys doing? Welcome in. Welcome to this Friday morning. Thank God it's Friday. Hello, Sweet Belle. All right, well, we are going to have a special guest in a few minutes, but before we introduce her and bring her on, I just kind of wanted to do just some opening stuff, to talk about what's up and coming. So we have some exciting news. First off, what good stuff happened to you guys this week? Tell me something great. Tell me something wonderful. For me, and it doesn't have to be big, it could be something small. For me, my good stuff is I finished my husband's man cave. I actually have to take notes. I sometimes, weeks are like that. You got to sit there and think about what could happen this week. You had your first show, Sweet Belle. How cool is that? Congratulations and welcome to Whatnot. So mine was, yes, I finished my husband's man cave. And so I'm excited about that. Now I'm cleaning up all the aftermath of that. I don't know if you guys do home construction projects, but it looks like a tornado went through my house when I'm done. Let's see, Straight from the Heart had a first show. Congratulations. Lydia Jade, you hit 1,000 sales. That's exciting because that means you're instant payout. So that's really cool. Y'all, that sounds like we had some good weeks. This is awesome. All right. So upcoming, what's coming up? And if you want to put anything else good in there, please feel free, throw your good stuff in there. I do have a poll up and going, so if you could answer that, I'm going to close it in a little bit. Today, we're going to have a special guest. And then after that, we're going to talk about Whatnot tools. And hopefully this is a cool conversation between both of us. I listed 20 tools and ways that we can use them, but it'll be so much better to hear from you because collectively we have so much more knowledge than just I have alone. So hopefully we can share some thoughts and ideas and get some new ways to use the tools that we have at our disposal. So we'll talk about that. Upcoming this week, we have our New Seller Surge show. I'm so excited about this. So we started last month. We do a raid train once a month for all new sellers, but it's for 6 new sellers every single month. And this month, I'm going to tell you who we have. We're not going to pull up their things right now, but they're all tagged. We just put them in the chat so you can follow them as I talk about them. But we have Wandering Through Life with Me, and this is on Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. So it's like a 2-hour show. Each seller gets 20 minutes. We have, I just lost my earbud. We have the Vintage Vine. We have Strega Designs. Then Chasing Daisies, Recycled Runway PA, and David Seller 1. So they are all in there. Y'all, if you guys are here this morning, I see Recycled Runway putting some hearts in there. Throw some emojis in there if you're here. Let's see, who else did I miss? Because Wandering Through Life with Me. So come check these new sellers out. They're up and coming sellers. There's some of them, it's their first raid train. Some of them have maybe been on 1 or 2 already. But this raid train is really designed just to give new sellers a chance to experience a raid train, try something new. So some of the stuff they're doing, if you don't know about the New Seller Surge, if the seller is normally a random seller, we ask that they list an item or 2. If they're a lister seller, we ask that they do a random item. There's going to be 1 item for $1. So it's really just trying out Whatnot tools to become a little more familiar with it. That's all it is. Strega Designs is there. It's Wander, not Wandering. That was my fault. Okay, we're going to fix that. Thank you so much for correcting us. All right. I'm just trying to see if I'm missing anybody. Okay, so we have that. I have a primitive show tomorrow. I'm already loading. Not everything's there. Starting to load that up. But we started something new last week, and I think this is really fun. So every Saturday night, our Saturday 4 o'clock shows, we're going to have game night. We're going to start doing different types of games just to have a little more interaction, a little more fun with it. Last week, we played a game where you had to guess the word. I'm not going to reveal the game we're going to play, but we have a totally different game for tomorrow. So come check that out. And then Battle of the Best on Sunday. Oh, thank you, Taco Cat Lady in Southern Charm. Yeah, game night I had a blast. I think that was one of the most funnest shows for me as a seller that I've ever done. Thanks, Santa girl. So yeah, tomorrow's all new game. And then Sunday, Battle of the Best. I am going to be on at 1:20 on Sunday. I have an ephemera item from World War I. It's actually a huge bundle, ephemera bundle, that follows the life of a soldier through World War I. I'm so excited of this. Hold on, what did I just miss here? I need some kind of trivia spelling because I can't spell it all neither. I can't, as you saw, I couldn't even pronounce the word. So, and then this week is our very first buyer appreciation or loyalty appreciation show. So we are rewarding our top 3 tier people. So if you're in the top 3 tiers of our rewards, you will see a show showing up on your on the show list there when you're kind of scrolling through. It'll automatically show up if you're in the top 3 tiers, and you get to come on Thursday night. It's the last day of the month, and I'm going to have items that I've curated during the month that I've put aside for next month's show. So you get first crack at everything. So if you're in the top 3 tiers, come check that out. Real quick, I wanted to go back to the new seller surge. We have openings now in October. So if you're a new seller, you're interested and haven't been on it, if you're a new seller, you haven't been on it, then we have openings in October. Message me and I can send you the link. And we're going to show you real quick what that looks like. Just a second here. We're going to fix wandering through life. It is wander through life. That was my mistake. We will fix that. So message me if you're interested for October. We're doing them every month except December because the last day of the month is New Year's. I'm just not sure how successful it'll be on New Year's Eve. All right. What else are we doing? Create a junk jar raid train. So Choco Dog and I are co-hosting or co-conducting Create a Junk Jar Raid Train. That is going to be on August 2nd. I am so excited about this. It's just a morning raid train, so it's only a few hours long. We have space for 1 more seller. So the idea is it's like create your own vignette, but you're going to be creating a junk jar. If you are interested, message me or Choco Dog so one of us can get you the link for that. And then finally, before we introduce, I have one more announcement before we introduce our special guest today. And that is, I am excited about to create a junk jar raid train too. I have a whole shelf in my little storage area that I've been collecting stuff ever since we started talking about it. So I think this is going to be a super fun raid train. And I'm predicting it. I said this before, but junk jars are going to take over Whatnot. I'm going to call it right now. But last announcement, you guys may have noticed in the bin, I'm going to start putting in the bin some PDFs. And these right now, I have all about inventory. Every week, I hope to add a new one. It does take me a little bit of time to create them. And this is a 4-page PDF I put in there that's going to walk you through all the basics of your inventory, how to account for it, some definitions about inventory, just things you need to know, common questions that I hear. And as I go through the weeks, I'm going to try to add more that are really accounting focused. We have our FAQs.
Thank you, Shop Lux Styles, for your purchase from the bin.
Thank you. And, we have our FAQs. You can really go and look up a lot of stuff about Whatnot. But the questions I get a lot of time are on the things that aren't listed on Whatnot. How do you account for stuff? How do you do taxes? Stuff like that. So that's in there. You don't have to buy it. Just saying it's there if you want it. Just offering it up there. And this show, you don't need to buy something to watch this show. We do multicast onto YouTube. So if you want to go back and see anything on this show, it is going to be on YouTube. Don't feel like you need to make a purchase to be able to watch this back. I just want to make sure that you guys know that up front. And with that, I think it's time to bring on our special guest. So y'all, this is a new and up and coming seller. I'm going to introduce her in just a second. But we've purchased some stuff from her. Shipping is good. Product is good. Super friendly, super sweet woman. And so I'm just going to introduce her and let her tell you about herself and her product. Oh, before we do that, hold on. My husband's going to show you. Here we go. Here's a big reveal. We're going to just give you a quick preview here. So it is Tenacity Ridge, Miss Amanda from Tenacity Ridge. So I'm going to go through her bio really quick. Tenacity Ridge trading post, Her name is Amanda. She is a dog groomer by day and a cling slinger the rest of the time. A newer seller on Whatnot, a wife and a mom to two. Let me get that right. And Lala, the sweetest little granddaughter. Currently, shows will be selling hand painted window clings made by her mother, and hopefully she'll tell us a little bit more about that. She's her mom is almost 80 and has been doing craft shows for 45 years. And this is Amanda's attempt to help her so that she doesn't have to do the hardest part of her craft anymore, which is probably all that selling and setting stuff up. Thank you for your purchase from the bin. Please follow and bookmark. So we're going to get to meet her in person. Let's just take a quick look at her shows. Check this out. She has a bunch of shows listed, so you can bookmark them and look at the product. The pictures are amazing. They look even better in real life. So without further ado, let's welcome in Tenacity Ridge. Give us just a second and we'll get up on the screen here. Hello, welcome in.
Good morning. Good morning.
All right.
Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for being here. I'm so glad that you're here. Look at that. We have Lisa Ray says, I have several on the window next to me in my home office already. So first off, just tell us about yourself and what you sell.
Okay, so I'm Amanda, as you said, dog groomer, family person, but then also trying to help my mom. So I sell her window clings, and I can show you a few if you have just
Yeah.
a second. She makes everything you can imagine, and the light in here doesn't do them justice, like you said. It being on the window is what really sets them off. But she makes these hand painted window clings that are removable and reusable. So
Beautiful.
you can put them up on your window for a holiday, get tired of them, take them down and switch them out. She makes flowers, birds, dragonflies, bees, literally if you can imagine it, she can make it.
And she creates all these designs.
So, yes. Some of them are from like old, like vintage coloring books or stained glass patterns. But she sits and hand paints all of them. So
Awesome. And
those are
look at Lake
just
Erie
some.
Vintage says she has some and she loves them too. They're beautiful.
Oh, thank you all.
You have
She
quite a
works
lot of
really hard.
fans.
Yeah, I have. That's one thing I've tried to do is get to know people. The community on Whatnot is just phenomenal.
Isn't it wonderful? I mean, it's just amazing. How did you get started on Whatnot?
So my sister-in-law is a seller, and she told me about it, and I wanted to support her. So I came on and spent way too much money, as the story is for most people on Whatnot.
Guilty.
So, yeah. I hear it a lot. So, but as I was buying, I started thinking, why couldn't I do this to help my mom? Like she does shows in person. Why can't I do them on Whatnot? And I wasn't seeing anything like she does. And so for me, it just made sense um to try this. So
Yeah.
that's how I got started.
Awesome. We've mentioned your mom a couple of times and her great artistic skills. Can we show a picture here?
Oh, and
We
do
have
you
it.
have
We
the
have it
picture?
ready. We do.
Okay, because I don't
Just
have
making
it.
sure. There we go. There is Amanda and her mom. So there is the artist behind all of these. That's such a sweet picture. And that is the window clings we bought. Check them out. This is how beautiful they look. Even the picture. So this is on our back door, going to our back porch there. They're beautiful, y'all. I can't say enough about how awesome they are. My daughter's excited. She's put some in her window in her bedroom. So let's see. Tell us about your business. Where do you see yourself going? Are you going to branch out, or just kind of what's coming up for Tenacity Ridge?
Trying to figure that out. I'm a crafter myself as well. I think it's in my blood, having grown up doing craft shows with my mom for all those years. So there's things that I make that I would like to branch into selling those as well. And then we have a lot of stuff around our house I need to purge. So closet clean outs, stuff of the granddaughters. that's being grown out of. That's a good purge. So um, I would eventually like to broaden the horizons a little bit. I'm spending a whole lot of money helping my mom, so I need to recoup some of that.
Absolutely. I mean, Whatnot's the place to do it though, because you can just go. It's part of the beauty. We can go into any category that we want. I mean, you could cross sell into any category. So that's pretty cool. Um, Tell me about what has been your biggest success on Whatnot? What's something that you kind of look back over your time so far and you're like, that was really cool?
Okay, so this is going to sound dorky probably. The first one would be my mom has been able to come into a show and watch people just rant and rave about her stuff. And like, she doesn't, my mom is one of the most hardworking, and I'm trying not to get choked up, genuine people. And for her to see that people, like, she sees it at shows, but this is a whole different avenue that she didn't know about and she couldn't do the tech part of this. And so for her to just pop into a show and see people like saying hi to her and telling her about how nice her stuff is, that like that picks her, that's a good thing. So and then the second one for me would be like when you started your intro, you said she's a sweet woman, and I have lived my life trying to be kind. That's like my MO, that's who I am. And for someone that doesn't know me to say that, then I'm coming off genuine, and that's what I want. So that's
You
my
do.
other
You
big success.
definitely
That
come
people
off
see me the way
genuine.
I want them to. Well,
Oh,
thank you.
yes, absolutely. Um, okay, so you're kind of a new seller, been around for a couple of months. What advice would you give to
Mhm.
other new sellers?
Just that, be yourself, be who you are. Don't like, I see a lot of sellers on here who are more energetic than me or more put together than me, but that's not who I am. And if I tried to be that, you would be able to tell. And so if if you're trying to be someone you're not, you're people are going to know it. And I think if you try to be something you're not, by the time your show's over, you're seeing your real self. And it's just be yourself, be who you are. You're going to
I
draw people in that way. So
absolutely. I think that's the best advice right there. I mean, I think that's what I would say too. Is you've got to be your authentic self.
yeah, and
And I,
learn as much
oh,
as you can.
absolutely, yeah. I see other women, like I'll watch other women, and some of them I'm like, she just has the perfect hair and she looks so pretty, and I just want to look like that and be on and sell stuff. And then I'm like, that's not who I am. This is me,
Yeah.
and this is who you have to be. You know, you just got to come as you are, and come dressed, but come as you are, right? That's what I say. um, how about the other side of it? What advice would you give to buyers since you were a buyer before you were a seller?
Of course, my first one's going to be don't forget the handmade category. Like
Yes.
we're make sure you visit that site or whatnot. It's pretty cool. But then interact with your sellers. If you're in a chat, for me as a new seller, there's nothing worse than like having to talk to myself. I do enough of that in my daily life. I don't want to be on my live doing it as well. So, like, interact with your sellers. That a lot of times, I don't care. Like, the sales are great, right? Like, that's why we're here. But I just want people to interact with. Like, I want to be able to talk and get to know you and like that kind of thing. So, interact with your sellers, get to know them.
Absolutely. Y'all too, if you have any questions for Amanda, Tenacity Ridge, please throw them in the chat too so we can address those. I'm kind of just catching up just to see if there's anything I missed because honestly, I haven't been paying attention to the chat at the moment. Not trying to ignore the chat, but I'm paying attention to Tenacity Ridge over here. So hold on, let's see. My motto in life is that all works are in progress and we can always learn more 100%. And yes,
Yeah.
everybody is like, yes, talk to your sellers, talk to your sellers. Um, let's see.
I was told once, don't judge your beginning from someone else's middle. And I
I
think
love
that
that.
is such a good, like, yeah, like no one's reached perfection, right? So everybody's
Mhm.
somewhere in that on that spectrum. So don't judge your beginning off somebody else's middle.
And isn't that, I mean, and that's so true for Whatnot, because I know, like, I've fallen prey to it myself, is that you come in and you see somebody and you have no idea where they are on their journey. Like, you don't know their life circumstances, what's going on. I mean, there's just so many variables back there. So I love that. And the chat loves it too. I'm seeing a ton of agreement going on here.
Well,
Um,
there you go. There's my tidbit for the day.
there you go. Hey, I think we could that's like the show right there. We'll just put that thing, just leave it. Then that is like the best advice. That I'm not going to be able to top it, y'all. Just warning, the next 2 hours, you got what you came for right there. Um, let's see. You say your bio said that you're a pet groomer. Do you have any pets yourself? Because I know we have a lot of pet
Oh my
lovers here.
goodness. I feel like I have a zoo. Most of the times you can hear them. I have five pets in my home right now. I have so many I can't even keep track of them. I have three dogs, three amazing dogs. Two of them rescue. One is I have a pit mix who was my solace after my father passed away. I have a Aussie Doodle who's actually my daughter's, but I claim him because I take care of him. And then I have a 90-pound Labradoodle who's a rescue, who's a bull in a china shop, but the sweetest thing ever. And then we have a 9-year-old rabbit who I swear is immortal. This thing is never going to die. He's like 9 years old, and he still runs around like he's a baby. And then we have a black cat that also belongs to my daughter. So we
You
have a
do
zoo.
have a whole lot, yeah. But I bet it's fun. I mean, I bet it
I'm an
keeps you
animal
busy.
lover, so yeah, if I had more room, I'd have more. So
Yeah. Let's see. We have love pitties. Both of my niece dogs are pitties. Sweetest dogs on the planet.
yeah, I
Yeah.
swore my dog was a pit Australian Shepherd mix for 7 years, and I had her DNA'd, and she doesn't have a drop of Australian Shepherd in her. So she, she's she's got 15 breeds in her, and not one of them is Australian Shepherd. So
That's so funny.
missed the mark on that one.
I had before my kids were born, and we're going way back. My oldest is 36. I got to do the math around there. But before she was born, I got a cockatiel. And I swear, this bird, my kids were grown. I only have one at home. Four of my kids had been grown up and moved out of my house, and this bird was still alive. I'm like, when are you leaving? Like, this is just too long to have any one pet. She
Yep.
unfortunately passed years ago. But yeah, that was probably my one experience. We don't have a lot of pets. I keep begging my husband for a cat, and he keeps saying no. I'm going to win one of these days. Yeah, birds live forever. I wish somebody would have told me birds live forever before I got the bird. I did not know that. But yeah, pets are amazing. Open floor. What anything you want to share? You already gave some great words of advice there, but anything else just to kind of talk about or share? And y'all in here, if you guys have questions, throw them in there.
Yeah, I'm not really good about talking about myself, so if there are questions, please ask because I get a little nervous when you say okay, open floor, but I will say, like I mentioned earlier, I am amazed at the community in whatnot. If that would be my other thing. If you're a new seller, man, get to know people. There are some really interesting people on this app and
There is.
funny, so funny. My husband gets so aggravated at me. He's like, "Are you on whatnot again?" It's like a television show. I'm addicted.
Exactly. And
So,
I've heard this said multiple times. Um, that American Honey, great question. We'll answer in just a second. I won't
oh
answer.
gosh.
Amanda's going to answer. But I've heard it say so many times that Whatnot has replaced TV anymore. All right, so we did
Yeah,
have a question for you. What would you tell your past self? What an intro, like an introspective question. I love it.
that is a loaded question for me. So, um, my past self, I would say just say no. Just say no. There's so many facets to that. I spent quite a few years making some really bad decisions, um, drugs and so forth, and my oldest daughter saved my life. So for me, that would have been a just say no. I spent a long time focusing on what other people, especially men, thought of me. I just say no to that. Like a lot of my past was um, doing things not for myself, but because I'm a big people pleaser. And so just say no would be my thing. I would just focus on the correct things.
Wonderful advice. I mean, but and at the same time, our past makes us who we are. So you've turned into
Absolutely.
this wonderful, sweet person. I didn't know you in the past, but since I have met you on here, again, like I said at the beginning, that you were just the sweetest person, and that just comes through every time that any interaction I've had with you. So, all right, let's see what else is going on. That is me. Read the book. Let Them. All right, there we go. We have a book recommendation.
Okay.
Let Them.
I'm writing
like
it
that.
down right now.
Yes. Let's see. I don't know if this is a question.
Thank
Let me
you.
read. How to get out of beginner's whatnot debt. Yes, I know better now. Also, still profitable while doing so. Yeah, beginner's whatnot debt, y'all, is when we get on whatnot and we just buy. And sometimes it doesn't stop, because then you're a seller and you're like, oh, I just made some money. I could go support my friends.
Yes.
Yeah.
So here's my theory. I'm getting a Visa prepaid card per month that goes into my wallet at the beginning of the month, and when that is empty for the month. That is going to be my budgeting for whatnot. Otherwise, I'm in big trouble.
Hey, I love that idea. That kind of keeps you on that budget.
Yep.
Lisa Bear says, if you were starting Whatnot today, what would you do differently?
I definitely would have learned more. I am a all-in kind of person. If it's like a hobby, I have to have all the things that go with that hobby. If it's when I decided, so I homeschooled my kids for 17 years and had to go back to work 3 years ago. And my dog groomer said, "Hey, you want a job?" And I was like, "I don't know what I'm doing." She said, "I'll teach you." So then all of a sudden I had all the stuff to do dog grooming. Um, so when I jumped on Whatnot, it was like full force, go forward. And if I could go back, I would spend more time getting to know people first and learning shipping, learning the tax side, learning what it's about before I dove in.
Yeah.
Having more of a plan.
I did the same thing. I think I watched like 3 days and I'm like, I could do this. I have that it sounds, maybe you're the same way. I have that problem where
Yeah.
I just see something and I'm an expert. In my head, I'm an expert. I can do it.
100%.
And I get in the middle of it and I'm like, oh shoot, what did I do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said in my show the other day that led me to take ballet classes at 35 years old. I just knew in my head I would be good at it. No, I was not. It was it was terrible.
I did that with CrossFit,
So,
so I'm right there with you.
yeah, yeah.
I'm like, this looks easy. I can do this. Yeah, I
It's
can't do it. Just,
no,
it's not
it gets me
happening.
in trouble.
Yep. I look
So,
at, I think a lot of the chat too, the woven basket, I'm the same one. Nifty Thrifty Brittany, she's glad she's not the only one. Um,
yeah.
let's see, if or when I need to put things. So Reloved by Stacy has a question. I'm not sure if or when I need to put things in the buy it now. What would you tell her?
Okay. So what I would say, and you may say something different, being a veteran on here, but I have been told and heard many times, always have stuff in your shop or your buy now. I know people that make sales while they're sleeping because there's stuff in their buy now or in their shop. I also heard it's very important to call it both things, shop and buy now, when you're on your live, because people don't, depending on what app they're on, phone or computer, they may see something different. Um, but I would say put stuff in there. I have 220 items, I think, in my shop. Some of them only run during the live, but some are available when I'm offline. So
You said everything I would say. I totally agree. Some business models, if you're doing that fast liquidation, maybe it doesn't benefit you for the shop. But I think in general, it's a
yeah.
great tool to use. We're actually going to talk about tools in a little while. So the bin is one of my tools that I have listed that we'll get to. I have one last question for you before we let you go and enjoy your morning instead of putting you in the hot seat all morning. Is there a favorite window cling that you have? What is your
Oh
favorite
gosh.
design that your mom's done?
So I'm a fantasy person to my core. Everything I read, everything I enjoy watching. I've been that way my entire life. Also a gnome collector. So this one that I showed earlier. Oh well, gosh, that's so hard.
I thought it might be hard. I'm like, oh, should I ask this? This
Oh,
maybe a.
this is one of them. The one that I showed. This one earlier.
I love it.
I I tend to like the ones that have a lot of elements that kind of tell a story.
It is so
Yes.
So this
hard to
one
pick.
too.
It is so hard to
It really
pick.
is.
Yeah.
I mean, sitting in front of me, there are, like I said, 200, over 200 clings, and she sends more just about every week. And so it really is hard to pick. Sometimes it depends on my mood. This one I just sold, but it's a favorite as well.
Oh, I like
It's
that.
a
That is
mermaid
really
in a
neat.
bottle.
Yeah.
So I tend
And
to like the ones that kind of tell a story.
And
So,
there's some that glow in the dark.
yes. I'm not sure where he is right now. Let me see. I just sold and shipped a ton of spooky ones. Um, they glow in the dark. There's a skull, ghosts, a bunch of spooky ones that glow in the dark. So she also has moons and stars, things like that glow in the dark as well.
oh, those would be fun to
So
put. I mean, you could put them anywhere,
yeah,
but I could see like a little kid's room would love to have like glow in the dark moon and stars. I think that'd be totally cool.
yeah. We have a
Um,
bunch of dogs, cats, little kids things. I mean, if you can imagine it, she probably makes it.
that is so cool. We have a question from Southern Charm. Any fourth
Okay.
wing? I don't know what fourth wing is. Um,
Okay,
I'm just
so
out
this
of
is the
date,
one I
probably.
think of. Yep, I know fourth. I know fourth wing.
Okay, good.
This is one that I think of when I think of fourth wing. Okay, so this up for interpretation, but this is, and if you've read Fourth Wing, you'll know why I say this. Southern Charm, you have to let me know what you think because yes,
Yes.
um, that's so. Fourth Wing's a book about dragons and dragon riders, and it's a
Oh,
great book.
okay.
I've read them, so that one is just one that we have several other dragons that I don't have in stock right now, but
I
and I
just had
do
to.
have a show today. Am I allowed to say that? I
Oh,
probably should have
absolutely. Yes.
asked.
Tell us about your show today, honey. Also, what she's telling us. Can you tag her in the chat? Excuse me, to make it easy for people to follow. I can't talk. I'm losing my voice.
Thank you. I do have a show. Most of my shows are Friday at 10:30 a.m. And then Mondays I'm going to have to change because I teach at a homeschool co-op during the school year. They've been at 10:30 as well. That one will be sliding down a little bit. But I am on today at 10:30. So
All right, you guys, 10:30. So you can go buy these. Southern Charm, go get that cool dragon. I had to write
yeah.
Fourth Wing down because I've never heard of it. But as you were talking about it, I'm like, my daughter would love to read these books. My daughter's an avid reader, so I'm like, I gotta jot this down. This is like right up her
Yeah.
alley. So,
Yeah. I,
all right.
if she likes fantasy, I can fill her up with
Oh,
recommendations.
definitely. If you want to send over any books, titles of books in the messages, please let me know because she absolutely
Okay.
does. Well, I'm sorry. I have one more question. Do you normally sell in handmade category? Is that your typical
Yes.
category? Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
I have heard to like try putting them in different categories and see what happens. I haven't tried that yet. Um, I've always I didn't want to change too many things and try to fix something that wasn't broken at the moment. Mess myself up. So I've been sticking with handmade for right now.
Handmade is a wonderful category and very underrepresented. So I'm glad to have. I can say I had a handmade seller on my show. I'm very
Yay!
excited about
Thank you
that.
so much.
Do you happen to follow custom wood burning?
Yes, I do.
Okay, perfect. Custom one
Yes.
burning and Leslie,
A
a
reworker's
reworker,
passion. A
sorry, a
reworker's passion.
reworker's passion. Two of my favorite handmade
Mhm.
category people. They're just awesome. And I know they do talk shows, and those are ones I try to catch every week. But they give some great handmade advice. Yeah, Leslie is the best. You want your butt kicked in a nice way? Go to Leslie.
Yeah.
Leslie
Yeah.
will like you go to her show and you come out of it feeling like, dang, she just talks some truth, but I'm not insulted. Like I'll feel good about it, you know?
Yep.
So
I have some of her soap, but she does scare me a little.
she is inspirational. Well, you know what? Thank you so much. Oh wait, hold on. What is her whatnot name? Are you talking about Tenacity Ridge? So our special guest is Amanda Tenacity Ridge. We'll put it in the chat again so you could. There it goes. And then who we're talking about, Leslie, is a reworker's passion, and we'll give her a tag too.
So if I
Um,
can say one more thing,
yes, absolutely.
if it's okay. So Tenacity Ridge, let me just because it's so the reason I'm here is my mom. It's so important to me. Tenacity Ridge is the name of the land that my mother lives on. That's where I got my name from. And because I'm saying all this, I'll say my mom is 80 years old. Last year, she got pneumonia, was sick for 8 months, and lost the majority of her income. And so that's kind of what happened when I got on Whatnot. I was like, if that happens again, what is she going to do? And so that's why I'm doing this. So Tenacity Ridge is named for the land that they live on. You'll hear a lot of my stories during my show. I tell a lot of stories during my show. A lot of that comes from growing up on that land. So when you hear Tenacity Ridge, that's what it is. So
Aw, that is the
my
sweetest
logo
story.
is also my logo is the cabin that my dad built that she lives in. So
That is so. And where is it?
but
What state does she live in?
she lives in Southwest Virginia.
Okay, that's not far from us. If you next time you're visiting her, you're gonna have to let us know. Maybe we could do a little meetup because
Yeah, where are you all?
we are in Pennsylvania, but we are right on the border
Okay.
of Maryland, so it's only a couple of hours to
Okay.
West Virginia for us.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
Cool.
That is so cool, and I love that question. I'm gonna have to jot down. Where did you get your name from for future shows? I love that. That question.
The woven basket just says, I live in Southwest Virginia near Bristol. We may know each other.
You don't realize
I
what a
need to
small
write that
world it
down.
is until you get on Whatnot.
Really? I've met people that live within 30 minutes of me.
And Lisa Ray's in PA, so we've got some PA people too. Straight from the Heart's a PA person. Notorious Bag Lady. We got a lot of PA people here.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Well, I've talked about doing a meetup before. We so need to do that. I'm just so trying to I'm like, oh yeah, I want to do that. And it's like, okay, when do I have time to arrange this? Like, just kind of get into all the details of arranging it. California, it is early for you in California, but I appreciate you coming to the show. Recycled Runways,
Yeah, no
another
kidding.
PA. Yeah, what time is it? It's like 4:30 in the morning in California. Goodness gracious.
I thought I was doing good being awake.
Yeah, I'm pretty much an early person, but we're in bed pretty early too. I mean, I say we're in bed. I go to bed about 9 o'clock at night, but then I sit there and work on my computer for 2 hours. So it's not really,
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I do. I go to
Hawaii.
bed and watch Whatnot. So,
Yeah, we do that too.
yeah.
We have a Hawaii person 1:30 in the morning. Well,
I'm
good
so jealous.
morning. Yes, I am jealous too. I would love to be in Hawaii. Um, I have never been to, have you been to Hawaii? Have you ever gone? I haven't been to Hawaii. Have you ever
I
gone?
haven't
No?
either.
No, I would love to. Um, so, all right, people talking about California. All right. Thank you so much for being on the show. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you so much for having me. It means a
And
lot. Thank you so much.
best of luck. We're going to tag you up again. Everybody, y'all. I mean, there's 50 people in here. There's a show at 10:30. Go get some window clings because they really look cool. I'm not just saying that. All right. Thank you
I
so
appreciate
much.
that. Thank you. Y'all
Bye.
have a great day.
All right, everybody. Let me just get my show going here so that I can see what's happening. And we're going to get a giveaway going. That was so cool. Tenacity Ridge is so sweet. Let me start a giveaway. I don't know what this giveaway is for. Let's see. This one is a really cool bird postcard. So that is up and running right now. These are like newer postcards, but they're great to frame. So that's going to be our first giveaway of the day. Take these out so I can actually hear normal. All right, y'all. How are you guys doing? That was such a fun interview. I really enjoyed that. So we're going to try to do more interviews, like at least once a month, if we can, but at least once a month, trying to meet some of our new sellers on here, just getting to know people. And I didn't even realize, I should have realized that. I didn't even realize that Tenacity Ridge was all handmade. I'm just so used to vintage. I just think everybody's vintage, but it does make sense. So that was kind of cool. Miss Jane, she is, I can't read it, sorry. Miss Jane, she is absolutely the sweetest. All right, I'm going to take this poll down, you guys, but I just wanted to put this up. We're going to refer back to this later on, this poll. As a seller, I feel confident that my inventory accounting is accurate and complete. 3/4 of you say no, which is kind of what I expected because it's a question that I hear often. Let's see. Let me get this poll down and then I'll go back and see what I missed in the chat.
Miss Michelle, you're not gonna regret it. It's amazing.
All right, let's hear. Oh, so okay, so Southern Charm had to go buy that dragon. I mean, the work is it's beautiful, you guys, and when the sun starts shining through them, they really are beautiful. I think Amanda was right. When you're just holding them up to the screen, it doesn't do them justice. We are trying to find our handmade tribe. Awesome, Faye West Designs. Let's see. When having buy now, this is from Sweet Bell. When having buy now and selling in many categories, what do you list everything, or do you just certain categories at a time? I think people may have different answers to this. So if you guys that are here in the room have a different answer, or please feel free. Just to say, if I'm ever answering something, you guys have a difference of opinion, don't hesitate. Throw it in the chat. That's what makes this great, is all of our collective knowledge together. When you sell in many categories, I would still list everything in the bin, even if it's not in that show. But you can bring things into the show. Like I have some books, not today because I don't usually put a lot from my talk shows, but I have books in my vintage category, not vintage books. Sometimes I have a whole collection of children's books I'm trying to get rid of. So sometimes I'll put some of those in there. I think when you do your shows, you should try to stay as true as possible to the category your show's in. So if you're in clothing, I would only do a small little bit of jewelry items or other things if you're doing clothing. In vintage, if you're in vintage, having 2 or 3 items in a whole show that's not vintage, or that's a book or something like that, I think that's fine. So I think your show should be in the category that the majority of your items are. But then in your bin, I think have a wide variety. Show people what you do. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I'm just going to go back and just make sure I didn't miss anything. No, I think I'm good. The other thing about the bin too, just to keep things organized, and we're going to talk about the bin and filtering here because we're about to talk we're going to talk all about Whatnot tools, is if you number stuff, keeps it so much more organized. Can you move or adjust items you're putting in the bin as loading it? There's no real way to organize besides numbering or alphabetical. So Whatnot's going to read, it's going to order things alphabetically and numerically. So if you want things in a certain order, you need to number it in that order and use 3-digit numbers. Whatnot recognizes the 3-digit numbers. I for Beauty says, I am pleased to announce that Robert Lawton, I'm probably saying that wrong, Lagasti has allowed me to offer his amazing hand-blown art glass here on Whatnot, custom work available. All right, you guys, if you haven't seen I for Beauty, he sells the most amazing glass. I just got an owl on a nest. It's like a hen on a nest, but it's an owl. Absolutely gorgeous, stunning piece of glass. So go check it out. And that Robert Lagasti, I don't know anything about him, but I have heard I for Beauty talk about some of his paperweights and show some of them in his shows. Amazing, amazing. So Sam I Was says, bin won't work for me due to shipping times and my work schedule, but everyone says use it. Is there any way to postpone bin fulfillment? Unfortunately, Sam I don't think so. I'm pretty sure from everything that I know about Whatnot, the bin is subject to the same 2-day shipping as everything else. So there really isn't, unfortunately. And I do know that can be difficult. I work full-time too, so I totally get it. Like sometimes something will sell for me and I'm like, uh-oh, I've got 2 full pack days. What in the heck am I supposed to do? All right, who's going to get that postcard? Mary Lack, congratulations. So the bin, thank you, Mary, for being in the show today. Eclectic DD, the bin is your shop. So if you take a look this side down at the bottom of my screen, there's going to be a little icon that says shop. That is your bin. Your bin is your buy it now. And this is going back to something Tenacity Ridge mentioned. Us as sellers will say bin just because it's our normal nomenclature. But it's actually the shop, and bin stands for buy it now. So if you click on the shop, you'll see an auction tab, a buy it now tab, usually if there's giveaways or things that are sold, and you can kind of filter through them. Happy Fox, I'm confused with inventory, shop, bin, and store. Sometimes I list and then can't find an item. Why? Great question, Happy Fox. So if you put something just in your inventory, so you're a seller, you're on your computer, that's how I do most things. So that's when I talk, I'm talking from the perspective of using a laptop to enter stuff. So you're on your inventory tab and you enter something. That automatically right there will just go to your storefront. That's available 24/7. You can have it there all the time. In each individual listing, there's a little button on the side that says I don't know the exact words, like reserve for show or something like that. If you click that, you're going to get a drop-down box where then you can assign that item to a show. If it is a buy now item, it will go into your bin in your show. People can still see it if they're searching the shop, but they can only purchase it from within a show. If you don't click that, it's not going to go into your show. It's going to be in your storefront. Hopefully that helped you some. Maybe they could put themselves on vacation mode when not available. Hey, that's a good idea, Lisa Ray. Going back to Sam I Was. So maybe if you toggle vacation on and off. The only thing, and I don't know if she's here. Why is my mind not working? Natural State of High was talking about this yesterday, about having stuff on vacation mode. Sometimes even if you're on vacation mode and you go into your store, it acts funky. Whatnot's funky with that. But that is a good idea. You could put it on vacation for like Monday through Thursday or whatever, then take it off for the weekends. Great idea. Could you turn on vacation mode? And then hopefully you guys, I answered that somewhat knowledgeably for you. I want to talk about tools today. So I came up with 20 tools. Let's start with this. When I say Whatnot tools, when I say, sorry, my husband's talking to me at the same time. When I say Whatnot tools, what do you guys think of? Throw in the chat. What does that make you think of when I say Whatnot tools? And while you're throwing that in there, I'm going to answer Lisa B's question. So features is one. Lisa B says, I'm going to begin selling, but really want to change my name. Do you suggest keeping my name similar? Lisa B, I would suggest coming up with a name that represents your business, but keeping it broad enough so that if you're selling vintage and someday you decide to sell clothing, that you're not pigeonholing yourself in. And I would change it before you start selling, before you like create a logo and a brand and all of that. So how to utilize Whatnot. So when I say tools, you guys think of features, how to utilize Whatnot to your benefit, rewards club, giveys. So you guys are naming a lot of the stuff that I've listed. Should you auction or pre-bids? Should you auction your pre-bids first always? Okay, so this is a different question away from features, but let me answer this one. Should you auction your pre-bids first always? Paw prints and gardens, that's up to you. And I think you have to read the room to decide when the best time to go to pre-bids is. Personally, I always prioritize pre-bids and requests, but I wait a little bit when I start the show. I try to run 5 or 6 items, give people time to filter in, just kind of get the show going, and then I go to pre-bids. However, maybe that pre-bid, you know it's a pretty good item. You know it's valuable, and you want to wait and give people time. There is nothing wrong with saying, hey, y'all, check this out. I have this awesome phone. It's listed in my auction tab. It is open for pre-bids. We've got a couple pre-bids already. I'm going to run this in 30 minutes and give it time to simmer. Give it time for people to be like, go check it out. Ooh, I want that. So I think it's more about judging the temperature of your room and deciding when it would be best. Strega says she changed her name completely and put her old name in the profile. Perfect thing to do. Absolutely. Put your old name in the profile so that people know who you were. I was Zoe T for a long time until we changed it to Zoe's Treasures. Let's see. How do you set up pre-bids? So it's nothing that you need to actually set up. However, when you're scheduling a show and you're going through the little form to schedule your show, one of the questions in that form is allow pre-bids. Just make sure that button is clicked on. It's either allow pre-bids or disallow. I forget which way they phrase it. But just make sure that button is in whatever place it needs to be to allow the pre-bids. And then anything in your auction tab is automatically open for people to pre-bid on. Cynthia's Attic says before she does her pre-bid, she waits till it gets a little more people in the show unless it gets requested. Yeah, see, I mean, all of these are great suggestions. So Ivory Beauty says seller analytics is when I say features or Whatnot tools, that's what he thinks of. Tenacity Riz says she changed her name as well, but she did it before she started selling. Her username before was not easy to say, and that's such a good point. Whatever name you go to, if you have a difficult to say name, I am sure you have already heard sellers slaughter your name. If you're a buyer and you have a difficult name, I've probably slaughtered your name if you've bought from me. So absolutely keep that in mind. Think about how easy is it to say and to read. If you have a very long name with no spaces, sometimes people are going to trip over it. When you're selling, and from a buyer's perspective, before you become a seller, you may not realize this, but when you're selling, you're doing like 8 or 9 different things at one time, and you're trying to keep it all straight in your head and read names right. Sometimes you're just like, oh, please put a space in there, help me out. And I mean, I'm not trying to sound rude with it, but sometimes like I'll look at a name and I'm like, do I even want to try to say that? Tenacity Ridge is a good example. I slaughtered her name the first time I said it. I said Tina City Ridge. And then I'm like, oh wait, no, that's Tenacity Ridge. But I slaughtered it the first time I said it. Yep, you can email Whatnot. Thanks. Yeah, it's easy to change your name. My goal is to have the same name across all platforms. Very good. Yeah, for social branding purposes. And let's see, honey, what am I missing? You're showing your. Oh yeah. So if you want to change your name, but Whatnot won't let you, I don't think you're allowed to change it if you have anything pending. Absolutely, you need to wait. You can't be in the middle of sales. Oh, yeah. And thank you for answering, you guys. If you see that I miss a question, either re-ask or if somebody else may answer. So thank you guys for helping me out. I totally appreciate that. Again, this is a collective effort. This isn't, just me. All of our minds together are far better than just mine. Trust me, it really is. Make your username unique and maybe avoid using vintage. Harris Collectibles. I love that. Yes. I picked Zoe's Treasures. That's not very unique. And I later not necessarily resented the Zoe part. That's my daughter's name. But the Treasures is kind of common, so I totally agree with that. 20 tools available to sellers is useful. Exactly. I have 20 listed. Hopefully we'll get through all of them. We'll see. I have 21. Sorry, my husband gave me another one. Let me jot it down here so I can get to it. 21, because he just told me another one over there. Let's see. 20 tools. Are you referring to thermal printer, scale, bubble wrap machine, or Whatnot tools? I have 20 Whatnot tools, 20 things available to the seller to help you in your sales that you can use individually or in combination with other things that we're about to start talking through. Let's see, what do we, you can email, oh, thank you, Sassy Vintage Chick, helping out here. What about numbers in the name? I have heard I have a hard time remembering a shop. Personally, and this is just my personal thing, if it's like Bob Smith 123, that tells me that Whatnot assigned you a name. That's what I think when I see Bob Smith 123. When I see Green 13, that's different. Green 13 to me is a name he thought of that, like it's like, oh, I put some thought into this. But when it's just Bob Smith 123, how original is that? How are you going to brand that? How does that tell me who you are? So think about that when you're coming up with names. 21 tools, we're about to get into them. Oh, thank you I love to read the comments out loud, and I try to say your names if I can. Let's review my list. All right, let's go through my list. Some of these you guys I'm sure you use these and know these. So for every tool, I wrote down a couple like ways to use it. But as we're talking about it, please put in the chat if you have other unique ways, because I was really hoping today would be about helping each other learn to do things new and different or creative. And there are some creative minds on Whatnot. I know there is. All right, so the first one I have, camera zoom. Not on your iPhone. I'm not talking about using your iPhone feature or your Android feature or whatever. I'm talking about Whatnot camera zoom within Whatnot. So when you're in a live, you have 3 little buttons on the top. You click that button and there's a camera zoom feature. It has 3 settings that you can zoom so you can kind of go wider, in, and in even closer. That was a tool that I've never even used. I learned about it when I was researching tools. Hi, Reptile Guy. So I thought camera zoom was kind of cool. If you change your name, do you lose your followers? I do not think so. I think you just got to brand it right. Keep your icon the same. So keep your little circle thing. I don't know the technical term for that. Keep your icon the same for a while before you change it. And like Tenacity Ridge said, put your prior name in your bio and make that connection and talk about it a lot on your shows. Just, hey, remember I used to be Zoe T. I'm this now, something like that. Never knew about the Zoom. Oh, yours won't. Your phone is too old. So possibly, I mean, I know Whatnot has different like updates and like pushes different technology versus iPhone versus Android. So possibly with the phone being too old, but it is a tool within Whatnot, which I thought was really cool. Yeah, Taco Cat Lady. Just remember, if you're changing your name, you can't change it until you have 0 shipments. What is it called? It is called Camera Zoom. So this tool is literally Whatnot calls it Camera Zoom. All right, the next one. So we did Camera Zoom. Located in the same place, top corner, there's 3 little buttons. You click that and you have a menu to pick from, is Facecam. If you want to see a really good use of this, check out Natural State of High shows. I have seen her use this tool a lot. So with your Facecam, you can use your front and back camera at the same time. So like we do this with the little circle up here. So as you see me in a circle, we do this through technology that my husband has set up, but you can do this right through Whatnot. You can have your product on the screen and you can have yourself up in the corner. It may not be a circle, it may be a box. I'm not sure exactly how it looks. I'm pretty sure it's a box. By utilizing your front and rear camera. So you have one camera facing your product, one camera facing you, and you can switch them, but that is within Whatnot. I do not know if it's iPhone or Android. You're going to have to test it out. I am solely an iPhone user. But what a great feature. What does that do for you? We always say, if you creating this connection, right? Like having that personal, just the connection, showing your face makes you a real person to people. So you could talk to your audience and sell your product at the same time. Let's see, Lynn says, I'm going to start selling consistent middle of August, going on a cruise. Can I pause my shop? Yeah, you can put your shop on vacation mode. There's no problem with that. What is I Love Discount? Android does it. Thank you, I Love Discounts. So from an Android user, you can use that Facecam feature in both iPhones and Androids. I thought that was really cool. I have seen, like I said, if you want to see somebody who does this, check out Natural State of High. I've seen her do it multiple times in her show, and I've always kind of wondered, how does she do that? That's really cool. And that's how it happens. So good morning, I Love Discounts. How about an iPad if you're streaming? I would assume so. Let me see. I'm not streaming from an iPad, but I have an iPad here. No, I don't think, because I'm not running my show on the iPad, so I don't know if I can test it out here. If anybody uses an iPad to run their show, do you know, can you do the Facecam on an iPad? I'm going to guess yes, because it's similar to an iPhone. I would have to go check on that for sure. I'm not 100%, so I don't want to give you wrong info on that. There you go. Thank you, Mrs. Big Papa Pump. You can. Thank you so much. See, this is what I mean. Collectively, we're better than just me. On the labels, how do you use your username instead of your real name for your return address? In your seller settings, you can go into your Whatnot settings, and you can change it in there. Okay, I Love Discounts is rechecking the Android just to make sure here. Okay, so we've talked about 2 already. That's just two things. And both of those are things I just learned. I have 22 total. We may not get through all of them because I only have till 9 o'clock. And if not, we'll just pick it up next week. But all right, big tool. I think somebody said this when I talked about it. Rewards Club. Huge tool. Huge tool. Now, you do have to meet certain levels. Rescued by Michelle, I'll answer that question in just a second. You have to reach a certain level, and I think it's, I don't know, a certain amount of sales, and maybe 1,000 or a certain dollar amount. You have to, so you can't do it as a fresh, brand new seller, but I don't think it's too difficult to get to the point of being able to use Rewards Club. What are some of the cons? You can cater to your VIPs. The people that are your bread and butter, and if you look at it, if you think about it, there's probably, 20% of your sales probably comes from 80%. Is that how it works? No. 80% of your sales comes from about 20% of your people. If you look back at your shows, you know who your core group is. You know who those people are that are coming in your shows buying over and over again. You can cater to them. You can do special shows. I have a reward show coming up this week for the top 3 tiers. You can encourage new buyers. By offering really good coupons at the lowest level, you encourage people to buy, to become a new buyer, so that you can show them how great your shipping is, how great your customer service is, how great your product is. You can encourage additional purchases. Some people get into that gamification, and that's what this is, aspect of it. And they're like, oh, I'm going to get to that next level, or I'm going to hit diamond on multiple sellers, on all my favorite people. So it could be a real motivator for people to make multiple purchases. You can do special shows for your top tiers. And it's customizable. I love seeing the names. I love going into shows and seeing all the creative names that people come up with. Let's see, what else am I missing here? There are a lot of buyers that would rather see your screen name and say, okay, real name, place to sell. I have the best Android phone and thought about it. For your reward show, what are you offering and how are you setting it up, Mrs. Big Papa Pump? Okay, let me get back and answer the question that came before that, and then we're going to talk about Miss Big Papa Pump's question there. But I don't want to forget that Rescued by Michelle asked, is it possible to use a tax ID if you're a reseller? Then we're going to jump back. I scroll. Sorry, y'all. We go back and forth. Is it possible to use a tax ID if you are a reseller? 100%. So there's two things. There's a tax ID and there's an EIN. A tax ID usually is distributed through the state you live in. So you would go to contact your state to figure that out, go to their website. Usually there's instructions there. That's a reseller ID. That sales tax exempt. Sorry, I'm trying to get the right words. Then you have an EIN, which is an employer identification number. That is in lieu of a social security number. You go to usgov.com or irs.gov, irs.gov to get an EIN, an employer identification number. So they're two different things, but yes, both of them are available to you as a reseller. Setting up rewards. Let's talk about that. For your reward show, what are you offering and how are you setting it up? So when you go into creating a show, there's that option in creating your shows where make it like a reward show. I think it's way down at the bottom of the list, and you can pick it. It will do a drop down and it allows you to pick which of the top 3 tiers you want in your show. So if you pick the 3rd highest tier, it'll automatically give you the top 3. If I pick the 2nd highest, it'll give you the 2nd and the 1st automatic. Or you can just pick it for your, what would be normally called the diamond level. So you could pick of those 3. Do you want all 3, 2 of them, or just one of them in your show? And then you run your show. It's just a normal show, but only those people can see it and are invited to it. So right now, like Southern Charm is one of my best customers out here ever. And if she goes into my show list, that will appear for her because she is at one of the top tiers of my reward system. But somebody who may have never bought from me will not see that show on the show list. Extending Gray Shop, how do you advertise your special shows? Do you create a show that is shown to the public? No. So like I just said, you put it in just like a regular show and you turn that button on to make it a reward show. And then it's just automatically, Whatnot programming in the background, automatically visible to the people who have reached the tiers that you set. So it's just something Whatnot does in the background and you just determine. And then as far as advertising, because only a limited number of people are going to see it, I talk about it. Almost every single show, I talk about it. Hey, I want you guys, if you're at the lowest tier, if you're at Hummingbird in my show, I want you to buy more. I want you to come to this show. So I'm going to tell you about it almost every single show, as much as I can remember. Can you please publish your bin? Can you please publish in your bin a PDF on Whatnot tools? I absolutely will. I'll work on that this week and I'll kind of take all of my notes and turn it into a PDF. Absolutely. That will be my next one. Hopefully I'll have 2 next week. So I'm in the middle of working on the next one. Let's see. What are the benefits of doing that type of show? So LP Tacky, the benefits are rewards to my VIPs, to the customers that are there who buy from me over and over. Throughout the month, I curate stuff for shows for the next month. So I'm always outsourcing. My VIP show is going to be held on the last day of the month. And this is going to be items that I have curated for the next month. I'm going to pull some from each type of collection. I'm going to put it out there just for the people that honestly are the ones that are coming to every single one of my shows and buying over and over. It's a way to reward them and to give them first cracks at something. Thank you so much, Lintro. I appreciate that. That's the benefit. The benefit is a rewards to your top buyers. Let's face it, you have a core group, all of us do, of buyers who come over and over and over again. Me as a seller, I want to take care of them. I want to offer them as much as I can. My new buyers are important. I'm not saying new buyers aren't important, 100% important. But you do have a group that comes over and over. So I think there's different ways to take care of different groups of buyers. My new buyers get a coupon. We're going to talk about coupons in a minute. So it's catering your attention to different groups of people in a way that make the most sense for that group of people. So it's not that one is better than the other. I for Beauty, we always hear about tools, but never a full overview. Oh, thank you so much, I for Beauty. So I think I answered what are the benefits. Okay, let's keep going. So Rewards Club, that's what it talked about. That one thing I do want to say about Rewards Club, you got to sell it. People forget that it's there. You've got to, as a seller, a lot of these tools that I'm going to talk about, you yourself have to keep telling people about it. Like we just talked about the reward show, the Rewards Club. As you see people buying stuff, hey, don't forget, go up here, click on the crown. You've got some coupons. If they buy something, and I see this in my show, almost every show, they'll buy something, somebody will buy one or two things, they get a coupon, and then they go and download, they click on the coupon, put it in their wallet, then go use that coupon to buy something that's more expensive. They were waiting, they're buying little priced items to get a coupon to buy something bigger. Happens all the time. Encourages multiple purchases. Can someone go check my bin and see if it's on vacation? Lynn, if anybody can help Lynn, oh, you guys are. Thank you so much. You're already on it. Show Hampton, sorry. Do people use the coupons you put in the boxes? They do. So not as much as I would like, but they do use them. And we're going to talk about coupons here in just a second. All right, so we talked rewards. Here, coupons are the next, perfect timing. Coupons are the next on my list. All right, so we've talked about coupons before. I love coupons. And you know what? Let's just think about this. You guys know me. I do a lot of my thought process comes from real life and brick and mortar shopping. Grocery stores still use coupons. Maybe a lot of people aren't cutting them out of the newspaper anymore, but they're electronic coupons, they're little rewards cards that have coupons on, like attached to them for certain products. People use coupons. They have been offered by retail stores, large and small, for years. If they didn't work, they still want to be around. It would have just faded off as a phase or a trend. They work. So coupons here on Whatnot. You can make them for everybody to use. So when you go to create a coupon, it can be for everybody, or it could be just for that new first-time buyer. There's a way to cater to a brand new buyer. Get somebody to purchase from you from the very first time. Sam, how can I incentivize people to leave reviews? Ask them. I would, at the beginning when I first started, every single order had a little card in there asking them, please leave me a review. You can give them a coupon, say, hey, please leave me a review. And while you're at it, here's a coupon for you. It's kind of like, oh, that's so nice. I'll go leave her a review. So maybe coupons could be an answer to that question. Good morning, Choco Dog. So coupons can be used to reward people, encourage return viewers. Let me tell you about the most creative use of coupons I've ever seen. And if you're in here, as soon as I say this, you know who you are. And if any of you know, tag this person. So I'm just going to say the name of this coupon. You know what I'm talking about. Tag the seller that does this. Chubby Bucks. Most creative use of coupons I've ever seen. So I'm just going to wait a second and see if that name Chubby Bucks rings any bells. There you go. I love discounts. Okay. Where's my camera? It's gone. What are you clicking on, cameraman back there? Thank you. All right. He's fired. No, he's not. This is one of the most creative uses of coupons I've ever seen. And this is a use of using two tools together. And this is kind of why I wanted to do this show. I Love Discounts takes their Chubby Bucks, which is a coupon, and combines it with a giveaway. They will run a giveaway every time somebody raids them. And the winner of that giveaway gets like a sticker or Mighty Patches or something sent to them as a giveaway gift. But they also immediately get a message with a coupon code. That is Chubby Bucks, $10. It was at one point, it may have changed. $10 of Chubby Bucks. This is $10 free for their show. Immediately, what does that do? It encourages people to be like, I have $10. Do you know how much most of the items are? $5 to $15, maybe in that range. You just got something for free that you as a buyer get to pick what you want. How cool is that? Creates a buyer immediately. Exactly, I Love Discounts. The first time I saw you roll it out, I just thought it was brilliant. This is a creative use of taking two separate tools and merging them together to be a unique thing for your business and then giving it a creative name. They don't call it, hey, we're going to give you a coupon with your Givey. No, they call it Chubby Bucks. And the minute I said Chubby Bucks, people in this chat knew who I was talking about. I love it. So that's a really great way. Ways that I use coupons. Okay, sharing shows. Faye West Designs. We'll come right back to that question. Let's just finish talking about coupons and we'll talk about sharing shows. Use it for, I put coupons to encourage having more people buy stuff. So if you buy 3 or more items in my show, I'm going to put a coupon in your box for 20% off for any future purchase because you purchased 3 or more items. I do free shipping. I need to encourage people not to buy just one thing. I lose money when you buy one thing unless it's a high priced item. So I like to encourage 2 or 3 purchases. So I'll put a coupon in to encourage you to buy more stuff. Coupons in for a first time buyer. Thank you so much for your first time purchase. Here's a coupon. Please come back. Because it's great that somebody buys one thing, but you want them to be a repeat buyer. You want them to come back to your show. Can I create immediate coupons? You can. You can create, and that's how I Love Discounts creates immediately. So Tony's selling, Lyssandra's in the background. When somebody wins that giveaway, she creates that coupon and sends it to them with a specific code. Now, I am going to caution people. You create a coupon. You cannot create a coupon for just one person. You can send it to just one person. There is the possibility that they're going to share it with somebody else. But, oh no, you shared my coupon and they came to my show and bought something. How terrible for me, right? I'm kind of okay if you share my coupon. I'm like, yeah, I don't care. I'll give you 20% off if you're spending money with me. But I hear that a lot. I hear, oh, but somebody can share it. They could, but the person has to buy it. I watch a coupon code. You should, and see, there you go. I Love Discounts. So that's the other thing you can do. When you create a coupon, you can deactivate it whenever you want. If you had a coupon sitting out there for 3 months and nobody used it, deactivate it. How do you send it to them in messages? Extending Gray Shop. I'm going to maybe I Love Discounts can answer you for extending Gray Shop. Peng Wrangling, you love it? You like my shirt? Y'all, I just dropped new shirts in my website. So this is one of them. They are like old sayings. The other thing with coupons is you can pick them for specific shows. So what does that mean? I can set a coupon to be any future show coming up and just leave it wide open so the users can use it whenever they are able to come to my show. Or I can say, you know what, I have a primitive show tomorrow. I'm creating a coupon just for that show. When you create a coupon just for that show, can you then combine it with flash sales? Combine it with something else, a specific type of giveaway. You can create excitement for a specific show. So you can start, coupons are super versatile to use with other tools. And we're going to talk, as we go through the tools, we'll talk a little bit more about it. All right, there was a question I was coming back to. Hold on, what is it? Sharing shows. I had another use on coupons. We'll come back to that. But sharing shows, is it spam? What is considered spam? Faye West, I don't know the exact definition of spam, but if you are just taking your show and sending it to everybody on your message list, I would consider that spam. I get shows shared to me all the time from people who don't even follow me or I don't even know, and I won't watch their show. They send, if I don't know you and you send me your show, it's a pretty good way to get me not to come to your show. And I think a lot of people kind of have that same perspective. So just blasting a show out to your whatnot message list is not cool. If you have a friend, like if I had a specific show that I knew I was selling glass in, I might share that with I Love Discounts because I Love Discounts has purchased from me. We've created like a friendship here on Whatnot. I know they love glass. That's not spam. That is catering to a specific buyer, a customer. And there you go, Miss Big Papa Pump. That feature is meant for off-platform promotion. You beat me to it, 100%. You can share it to Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, whatever it may be to promote your show. Get people to come in that normally aren't on Whatnot, bring them into your show. But don't just put it to everybody in your list. You can also share it through text. I do that a lot. I have just friends, family, that if I see something on a show that I'm like looking through their auction tab and I'm like, oh, this is really cool. I know my husband loves Star Wars. I'll share a show with him, like, hey, honey, go check this show out. Or my kids, hey, go look at this. I know you're into this. And I'll text them. I'll copy the link, or you can do share a show, copy the link, and then text it to somebody too. I love discounts. I will not even open your message if all you did was send a show link. Me too. Thank you, Lisa B. Sharing your own show is spam according to Whatnot. And that means when you're just blasting it on that Whatnot messages. Okay, let's go back really quick to coupons. When I was like taking my notes here, I thought of a unique way to use a coupon. So we've heard about doing a Givey to try to give somebody reduced shipping, right? You do a Givey, if you're mailing something and you're paying $5 and then they buy something, they get $5 discount. What if you created a coupon for $9.12 or $9.78, whatever our shipping rate is now? If you create a $9.78 coupon, what did you just give that person? Free shipping for that person? What if you are a seller who's not ready to do reduced shipping or not ready to go full on board with free shipping, but you want to reward somebody something? You can do a coupon for $9 and something, because coupons can be created as a % off or $1 off. You get to pick what you want, and you want to reward them. You also have the ability to say, hey, before you can use this coupon, you have to spend a minimum of $25 to be able to use this coupon, or you have to spend a minimum of whatever dollar amount you set, and this coupon can be only worth so much money. So you get to set all the parameters. Coupons would be a great way to offer free shipping to a specific person or group of people if you want to share it with more than one person. And like I Love Discount says, you can make it for just one show, and then you can go and disable it. When you're looking at your coupons, you can see who's used them. You can track their usage. You can see how effective they are. This is your marketing. This is no different than some big corporation putting an ad on TV in the middle of the Super Bowl and then watching sales afterwards and judging and doing all their marketing to figure out, was that ad worth it? It's the same concept, just on a lot smaller scale. You can do your coupon, it's marketing, it's advertising, and see how effective that was. Nope, coupons are for everybody. I only know how to get to them. If somebody knows how to get to them on a phone, if you can put that in there, I only know how to do it on a computer. When you're on your computer and you're in your seller hub, on the left-hand side of the screen, you click marketing, and it's one of the drop downs underneath there. So there's a coupon selection. Click on that, and then you can create it. Okay, so Extending Grace says you can only create it on your computers. Cynthia's Attic, you can do free shipping for only one person. You can do a coupon for free shipping and give it to one person. Now, could that person share it? They probably could, but you would also know through the analytics if they shared it. And let's face it, if you're doing a coupon for free shipping, you're probably going to give it to, and you're not doing a coupon, you're not calling it like saying, hey, you get free shipping. You're going to set it up for a specific dollar amount. We know it used to be $9.21. They may have just changed it. I don't know. $9.21. You can create a coupon for $9.21 and send it to one person. So you're just giving them a coupon to save $9.21. What does that equal? That equals the shipping amount. So the coupon is actually coming off the price they paid for the item, and then they're paying shipping, but at the end of the day, it all equals the same thing. So you're essentially giving one person free shipping, or two people, or whoever you want to use it for. Okay. You only create it on a computer. Does that include the iPad? Paw Prints and Gardens, if anybody can help that question, I don't know. I've only ever done coupons. Most of what I do is from a computer, y'all. So I am almost illiterate when it comes to trying to run Whatnot on my phone. So I try not to answer those questions because I'll probably be wrong. So if anybody can help Paw Prints and Gardens, that would be wonderful. All right, that's enough on coupons. If you have more questions, happy to talk about it. But let's keep moving on because we're only on number 5, and I only got 45 minutes left. Thank you, Sassy Vintage Chick. You know what? Let's do another giveaway. I've got all these giveaways, and then I forget to run them. So we're running another giveaway, up and going. What is it? All right, this one is for 2 old black and white photos. These are from probably about the 1940s. 2 black and white photos with some descriptions on the back, so a little bit of ephemera. That's up and going right now. Oh, wait, now it is. Hold on, I gotta click the button. Okay, now it's up and going. What about doing a Givey for free shipping in the show and then mail a thank you card? So Lisa B, I have heard that theory. Here's what I don't like about it. I don't think it's necessarily bad, but as a seller, this is why I don't like it. If I do a Givey for free shipping, the minute that Givey runs, that's coming off my ledger. It's gone. All right, I'm paying for it. There is nothing telling me, and from my experience in doing giveaways, that giveaway winner is going to turn into a buyer. You hope that's the goal, right? But what's the real conversion rate? From what I've seen in my personal shows, not a lot of my giveaway winners convert to buyers. So now I've just spent $9 on you and you haven't bought anything from me. If you're okay with that, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. It just seems really expensive to me. To me, it's an expensive risk for somebody who might not buy. Whereas if I create a coupon, the only way that's going to cost me is if you buy. So I get something back. It really reduces my risk on that $9. And $9 may not seem a lot, but you start looking back at coupons over the course of time. I mean, you want to use them strategically and in the best way, but it could add up. I love discounts. 20 to 30% of our giveaway winners do not buy anything from this show. Very consistent statistics there. So just something to think about. All right, next tool, flash sales. Flash sales, we've seen them. They kind of came there, this big, like, oh, check this out, we have flash sales. I love flash sales. I used to do Flash Sale Friday. I've had to merge my Friday shows into my Saturdays. I think they're an awesome way to, if you have a lot of inventory, to reduce inventory very quickly. I think they're a great way to keep interest. If you are the seller that lists items in your bin, maybe you're auctioning something that people are like, yeah, you're doing a bunch of butter pats right now. I'm not totally interested in that. I'm going to go look at your bin. And you put a few flash sales in there. That's kind of cool. It's a way to maybe incentivize people to buy a higher priced item. When I was doing my Flash Sale Friday shows, that was really my higher priced items that I had some wiggle room on my profitability. So I was able to slash the price 40%. As a buyer, when you see 40% discount, that's pretty darn good. That psychologically, you're like, oh, it piques your interest, right? Seeing a flash sale is no different than walking into a department store and seeing a clearance rack. I don't know about y'all, but I make a beeline straight for the clearance racks. That's what flash sales could be like. At a little bit better of it doesn't have that clearance connotation, right? So flash sales could be good for moving your older inventory, larger quantities of inventory. The only place I shop for clearance. Exactly. I'm not going to thrift stores and clearance sales. Give somebody something for people to look at. How about if you make a game of this? Could you encourage your chat by using flash sales? Hey y'all, I hid something in flash sale in the chat. First person to tell me what it is, I will email you a coupon. Or first person to purchase a flash sale thing, I'm going to run the next item for $1. Have some fun with it. Encourage it to use other tools. Thank you so much, Salty Sisters. I appreciate that. So you can use those flash sales in combination with other tools to incentivize. You don't even have to talk about your flash sales. You can put it in your show notes. We haven't got to show notes yet. You can put it in your show notes. Hey, guess what, y'all? I have some flash sales going on for some really good items. See who reads your show notes and can go and take advantage of it. So, and then you can hint to it, y'all. I hit a surprise. I hit a surprise somewhere. Where did I hide my surprise? Right? Choco Duck, thank you for the game show. Y'all, if you weren't here, I was talking about it earlier. We did a game. We're starting to do games every Saturday night, and it's not a spin the wheel game. It's not like games of chance, mystery boxes. It's none of that. It's just having fun with each other. So we had a great time the other night. We're going to do it again. Totally different game this Saturday. I'm hoping to come up with, 8 or so different games that we can kind of cycle through. All right. You can use coupons in conjunction with flash sales. What about if you create a coupon and then have a flash sale show? Just thinking outside the box, think about this concept. You see a lot of people who checking the answer should be Noelle's job. It should be, yes. I had a hard time keeping up, but it was a good problem to have, not being able to keep up with the chat. Okay, so what if you have a flash sale show? you see people. I've done it. A lot of you have probably done it. Really quick, hold on. Homespun Cottage, you've won the giveaway. Congratulations, and thank you so much for being here. I appreciate that. You see a lot of people do clearance shows. Everything goes for $1. Clear my shelves, whatever they're called, right? What are we doing? We're getting rid of inventory. Stuff that's been sitting on our shelves. We need to move it out so we can bring new stuff in. All of us as sellers have some variation of a clearance show. But when we say clearance, there is a connotation to it, right? There's a connotation of cheap, discount, lower value. So I don't like to use that word, even though I love shopping clearance. I don't like to use that word as a seller because I don't like the vibe or the feeling it creates in my buyer. Thank you. Yeah, real quick, Lisa B just mentioned it. If you guys are purchasing the PDF, shoot me over a message with your email so I can make sure I get that to you today, okay? You'll get sticker in the mail, you'll get a thank you in the mail, but I will email you that PDF so you can have it right away. So instead of using those words, clearance, discount, getting rid, chip and crack, whatever, what if you call it a flash sale show of some sort? Give it some fun name. You're putting things on flash sale, the stuff you want to get rid of, and you create a special coupon for it. I know you're probably sitting there thinking, oh, I'm going to lose so much money. You're going to sell the stuff for $1 or $2 anyways. Why don't you make your buyer feel like they're getting a great deal instead of just saying, oh, you're going to get my leftovers? Let's put a spin on this and say, I'm going to have a special show. Check out all this cool stuff you're getting and how much flash sales. I don't want to say like discounts I'm giving you, but you see what I'm saying? Put a spin on it. Use flash sales in combination with other things instead of clearance. So that was my flash sales spiel. Does anybody use them here? Just out of curiosity, throw a yes or a no in the chat if you use flash sales. There you go. Yep, I love discounts. I remember that show, the most profitable show. Yes. See, so a lot of people, I see more yeses than nos. So some of it depends too. If you're not a bin user, if your business model doesn't include the bin, it may not be a good tool for you. And not all these tools are going to be good fits for all of us, right? But it's not your niche. There you go. That's it right there. All right, let's talk about the bin. The bin is a tool. I think we kind of mentioned it earlier. We've been talking about it, but the bin is a tool. What does it do? Fill the box mentality, right? Hey, if you're not doing free shipping, or particularly if you were doing reduced or full price shipping, having stuff in your bin is almost a necessity. Almost a necessity. If you are doing full buyer pays all or reduced shipping. Because what happens? Somebody buys something for $5, it's less than the pound, or say it's at a pound rate. They get 4 pounds more for free, right? They've paid $9.21. They have some room to fill up that box. Give them things to buy. Don't leave money sitting on the table. Don't take sales away from them. Choco Dog, I sell out of my bin every show. And I can't stress it enough. If you are a niche seller that you're not doing large quantity liquidation, move as much product as I can in an hour, if you are a niche seller, you should have stuff in your bin. Passive income, 100%. Just to fill the box, it gives you more sales. You can think about it like this too, your lower and your higher priced items. Now, I put everything in the bin. If I don't sell it on a show, it's going in a bin or going in the shop. But it's a great place for your lower and your higher priced items. Your lower priced items, why? If you have a bunch of $3 to $4 items and you're doing buyer pays all shipping, how hard is it to convince somebody to get over that hump of the item's $3, but I have to pay $9 for shipping? That's a $12 item. It's hard to get somebody to bid on a $3 item when they got to pay $9 shipping. But if it's in your bin and they've already bought something else, it's a lot easier mentally for a buyer to pop that into their box, right? There's some questions I don't want to miss here, so let me go back real quick. When a buyer is paying all shipping, does shipping reduce per item that they buy during your show automatically? Paul Prince and Gardens, yes, it does. So Whatnot will automatically adjust that shipping based on the settings that you have. So up to 1 pound, it's incremental, like starts at like $4 and some change, and it varies depending on how far it's shipping, some other factors, but for something. So incrementally it'll go up by those ounce categories that you see when you're setting up your item. Once you hit 1 pound, it's $9.21 up to 5 pounds. Over 5 pounds, then there's additional charges. Unless you're in a flat rate box, it stays at $9.21 for up to 70 pounds. That's my basics of shipping. I really don't go deep into shipping because there's other sellers that have some great videos out there that really explain it probably better than I can. Can people buy from the bin even if you're not on live? They can buy from your store. So remember at the beginning we talked about you have your store, it's available 24/7. You making sales when you sleep. There is no better feeling than waking up in the morning and you're all groggy-eyed and you're like, oh yeah, look at that, that just sold. I love it. It makes me feel great. What a way to start your day with a sale, right? So if it's in your store, then at your bin in your show, you actually have to tell Whatnot, I want this item in my bin. You need to go to the item. You need to make it available in show or show only, and then you pick what show. Or if you're looking at your inventory list, you can do that like in bulk. You can pick a lot of the items by tagging them down the left-hand side, right-clicking, add to show. So Tanya's, I've cleared out most of my older stuff by using the bin. So this is it. You can throw higher priced items that maybe will sit there. They're a little bit harder to sell, but it's waiting for that right buyer. I have items that are wonderful items, wonderful antique items, but not everybody wants to shell out $200 or $300. But one of these days, the right buyer, the right collector is going to come along and see that. Lower priced items, higher priced. I don't say that to say don't put mid-range, because I do, but I'm just saying these are two really good uses for your bin. Let me caution here. I'm going to talk about verified buyers. I see your comment there, Tennessee Backroad Treasures. Do not put buy my kid a Slurpee in your bin. This is against terms of service or anything along those lines. I'm using buy my kid a Slurpee because I haven't seen that. So this way I'm not calling out any specific person. You cannot put that in there. You cannot buy dog treats, cat treats, kid treats, husband treats. You can't buy coffees, donuts, burritos, whatever it may be. That is against terms of service. Do not put that in there. It used to be a thing a long time ago, so you'll probably see people with it. And sometimes new sellers come in and they see other people that have it, so they do it because you're like, hey, I want to get to my 1,000 sales. Look, I'm right there with you. I don't disagree that we want sales. That's not the way to do it. Don't risk your business over violating terms of service. That's something so simple as that. So that's my little spiel. But your bin, you can sell without showing. How cool is that? I'm selling you, I'm putting no effort besides clicking a few buttons to stick it in there. No effort for me whatsoever. Google searches, what your bin items, your store items are now showing up on Google searches. You can now, if you're utilizing your store and your bin, people that aren't even on Whatnot, you can start drawing them into Whatnot because they can Google an item and your stuff could pop up. So you can gain viewers, you can gain buyers. All right, I'm going to answer this question. Do I need to have verified buyer marked for my first show? This is a hot topic, and I'm going to tell you my point of view, but that does not mean it is the end all be all because there are other points of view that are just as acceptable. I do not like turning on verified buyers. I never have and I never will. If you come into my show and I have verified buyers on and you have never bought from me before, or you have never bought from Whatnot, there is a good chance that Whatnot will put a hold of like $10 on your credit card, even if when you try to buy something, over and above what you're buying. I don't like to do that to my buyers. So to be a verified buyer, and I don't know exactly, I had wrote it down at one point, I don't know exactly what it is, but one, Whatnot verifies them in some way that they have like a history of buying or they're an actual person and there's some type of a hold put on a credit card. I'm sure eventually it's reimbursed in some way. To me, I talk a lot about removing the barriers to buying. Having verified buyers on, for me personally, I feel that I'm putting up a barrier to make it harder for people to buy from me. That's not my goal. I want to make it as easy as possible for people to buy from me. I don't like it. I'm on the other side of the fence. Let me give you the other side because there's two points of view to everything. Some people have been burned so many times by people canceling orders, returning stuff, just being bad buyers that they're like, look, I'm tired of being burned. I'm putting on verified buyers. That's legit. Like, I can't argue with that. That's legit, right? Fortunately, I don't feel like I've been burned enough to even consider it. So that's that. What am I missing? Sassy Vintage Chick, thank you for mentioning Living Bliss Vintage. She does do a shipping show every Friday, and she is super knowledgeable about shipping. So awesome, great recommendation there. So our shop buy it now is not accessible all the time. Your marketplace is accessible all the time. If you put it just into a show, they can only buy it in a show. So this is what happens. I'll assign things to shows, and sometimes before my show even starts, I'll open it up to check on pre-bids, but I'll see I already have a sale. How does that happen? Because I have an item that's marked in my bin to that show only, but somebody found it through doing a search, they bought it, but it doesn't show for me until that show starts to run. Okay, let's see. Let me go back. I'm going to catch up on questions really quick here because I think I missed a few. Because I will report the listing. Yes, you'll report the listing. If you buy your kid a Slurpee, there are those of us here who have been around long enough to report that listing. It just devalues us. You guys, it devalues Whatnot. It devalues us as sellers. We're not here to buy everybody's dog their burritos or whatever it is, or your kids a Slurpee. Put some stickers in there. I mean, at least send them something. Put some stickers. But you need rabbit food. All right. We'll make an exception for I Love Discounts. I think, Tennessee Backwards, I think I explained verified buyer. If I did not, please put it in the chat that, hey, no, I need more explanation. Do we need to be careful with the title versus description wording for search engine optimization of marketing? Does numbering items impact negatively? Whatnot doesn't operate like eBay or Etsy or any of these other ones where it solely relies on search engine optimization. Now that it's going into Google, I'm sure there's some of that plays into that. That whole area is not, the SEO stuff is not my expertise. But for Whatnot, when you're listing items, you don't have as much space. So think about when I pin something at the bottom. First of all, let me start this giveaway. And then I'm going to pin something to show you. Our next giveaway is, it is a little miscellaneous pack. You get a bookmark, you get some inspirational cards, and some seeds to plant. All right, so that's what this one is. That's up and going. Now let me pin something and just show you this to hopefully answer your questions. I can't pin that. Hold on. Let's go to buy it. Okay, so I'm going to pin this PDF. When I pin that, I only get so much space. The longer my title is, one, it's going to start to get cut off. It's taking up my real estate here that people can see my product. I think your title should be direct and to the point, and then you can put a little bit more in description. It depends. If it's in the bin, if it's in the buy it now or your shop, I would put more description than if I'm auctioning it. Because if I'm auctioning it, I'm going to tell you verbally and show you everything. But I don't, as of now, I would not think SEO matters as much. Maybe that'll change in the future as Whatnot starts to grow. And I don't think numbering impacts negativity. I think actually numbering is the other side of it. I think the numbering helps buyers make requests. So if you're the type of seller who accepts request and likes request, I think numbering really helps with that. Does marketplace bin purchase contribute to the weight for a show in terms of reaching the free shipping up to? Yes, it does. So your secondhand stash, anything they bought within that show goes into that shipping amount. So if they bought a 1 pound item from the auction, and then they go into your buy it now, your shop, and they buy another 1 pound item, that's 2 pounds. They're at $9.21. That's what they're paying till they hit that 5 pound mark. So yes, it all adds together within your show. So it all kind of combines, bundles. How do you add to the marketplace? So Lisa, you can go into your seller hub, and there's an inventory tab within your seller hub, and that's how you add it. By adding it there, you're adding it to the marketplace. Now, in your seller hub, you have 3 tabs along the top. What is it? Active, something inactive. Maybe there's 2 tabs. Anyways, what I want to focus on, if it's under the inactive tab, it's nowhere. It's in La La Land sitting, waiting for you to do something with it. Delete it, make it active in your marketplace, add it to a show, whatever it is that you want to do. So inactive, no, nobody's seeing those, nobody's buying that stuff. You need to do something with it, delete it if it's gone, if it's something you sold. Draft, thank you very much, Paw Prints and Gardens. If it's in your draft, same thing. Nobody's seeing that. That's a work in progress. That's something you're in the middle of. It has to be in that first tab. But they can purchase it if stuff's not in the show. Right now, you guys can go click on my name and go see my store and buy stuff out of my store. Like, I'm not telling you to do that, but I'm just making an example. You can go shop in my store at any time. Here's a good sassy vintage chick. Here's a good explanation. What you see on your profile while not live is available 24/7. Bin items you assign to a show. 100% right there. Just sums it up. Y'all just take a look at what sassy vintage chick sums it right up perfectly. Okay. When we're talking about bin, because I want to move on to the next useful item here. When we're talking about bin, a good point is to use terminology. We have a lot of new people on Whatnot. We're used to it. Us have been around for more than a month. We say bin, we know it's that little down here store icon, right? But if I'm talking and you're brand new to my show and I'm like, go check out my bin, and you're like, what the heck? There's nothing that says bin. What are you talking about? What's a bin? Where do I check it out? Thank you, I love discounts. I'll mention that. Yes, 100%. So shop or store, whatever it says down there. Let's see, what does mine say? I think it says shop. Yes. Hey, guess what, people? I've got my shop loaded. I know we hear I've got my bin loaded. Try using terminology that people will recognize. I still do it all the time. I'm not the best at this. And this wasn't my advice. I cannot take credit for this. This was JJ Shopper, another great seller on here. This was her advice. And you know what is one of the smartest things I had heard in a long time? I Love Discounts reminded me, you can go into your bin. Like right now, if you were to go into My Primitive Show, don't do it now because you got to leave this show. But after this show, if you were to go into My Primitive Show, you can go and click on my shop under the buy now and buy stuff. You can do that. You can go look at other people's scheduled shows, and if they have things listed, you can purchase them that way. Then when that person opens up their show, it's already showing as a sale for them. It's kind of cool, actually. Active items are marketplace. Yep. Okay, I think I'm caught up on chat. Let's go into our next. We talked about bin a lot. Auction times and the counter times. These are two tools that are priceless. Who's winning a giveaway? Salty Sisters, congratulations. Thank you so much for being here today. Let's start another giveaway because I always forget these. And then after the show, I'm like, what's next? Oh, what's this one? Oh, this is a My Vibe is Vintage sticker. So that's what you're going to get for this next giveaway. It's number 4. All right. Auction times and additional time. Y'all, you don't have to just pick 20 seconds and stick with it. Use it based on the time that you're going to run an auction for, based on what you're selling, who your audience is, and what you want to achieve. If you want the most perfect example of this that I can give is go check out Green 13. He is the master of this. He will vary his auction times. From 10 seconds to 5 seconds. If he wants to wake up a chat, if he's like, oh, things are moving a little slow, he's sensing it because as sellers, what do we need to do? Constantly be kind of taking that atmosphere of the room. What's our vibe going on right now? My chat's getting sleepy. My chat's doing this. I need to wake people up. He will take it from a 10-second auction to a 3-second sudden death. He'll be like, all right, y'all, pay attention. We're going down 3 seconds. And he varies the time. And it wakes you up and you're like, ooh, I don't want to miss. What does that do too? Creates FOMO, right? Fear of missing out. Creates FOMO. Creates urgency in the buying process. Gets the buyers excited. So you can alter your times. Now let's go to the far extreme. When we do Battle of the Best shows, how long do we run our items for? 2 minutes usually, right? Because it's a 10-minute show. We have one item that we're trying to get the highest price we possibly can for that item. So we're going to put that item on for 2 minutes and we're going to talk it up. And yes, I love discount. It's so long. It is. 2 minutes feels like a lifetime on Whatnot. But on Battle of the Best, it goes kind of fast, actually, when you're trying to talk this up and you're watching the bids and you're like, the bids kind of stall and you're like, what else can I say to make people think this is the coolest thing on earth, right? So you use it to the advantage of what you're selling, what your room, the atmosphere is, what's the energy, the vibe that you're trying to create, and you can switch it up. The same thing, the next tool I have with that is sudden death. So combining your auction times, using sudden death, not using sudden death. And this is what I haven't done a lot of that I'd like to try to play around more. It's in the back of my mind of like, okay, how can I incorporate this more? Sudden death creates urgency. It creates that, oh, I better bid. It also creates the need to do custom bidding, which usually gets you a little bit more there. People so a custom bid, if you're not familiar, instead of just swiping, and doing that, dollar swipe. I see something, I want it, I'm going to do custom and put $50 in there, $45, and that's my max bid. So scarcity, urgency. If you're doing a really fast-paced show, sudden death can be really fun. Short time sudden death can be really fun for those. Let's get through this. If you're doing something, I did a Butter Patch show, nothing but Butter Patch. I had over 100 of them. I'll tell you what, I get bored selling. If I have more than like 3 of an item, I get bored selling it. So I didn't do sudden death, and in retrospect, I wish I would have. Sudden death for dollar holler. There you go, perfect example of a sudden death use. But if you're getting bored as a seller, and I'm like, my energy is draining because I'm sick and tired of showing another dang Butter Patch, people are going to feel that energy, and it's going to drive your bid prices down. So recognize your own feelings and switch up your timing, switch up how you're selling and using these tools like sudden death, where I could be like, you know what, I can go through these really fast. All right, 5 seconds, sudden death. Here's a Butter Patch, check it out, blah, blah, blah. All right, next one. And it kind of creates that fun atmosphere, right? So just think about the different ways you can use it. Now, an Eye for Beauty seller, great seller, super informative, but he does mellow shows. They're not this hype, they're mellow. Sudden death might not be a tool that he would use a lot. So you've got to analyze for yourself. Sam, I was Butter Patch. How do you handle having enough for everyone, but getting max sales prices? Sam, I was not just on the Butter Patch, but just in general on inventory, having enough for everyone. I don't want enough for everyone. I want 1 or 2 items because scarcity creates higher bid prices. If I only have 1 of something and you want it, and so does 5 other people, I'm going to get more money for it. Supply and demand, right? If there's higher demand than what you have supply. If you have way more supply than what you have for that demand, you're not going to get as much money. So my Butter Patch, I knew Butter Patch are in high demand, right? And I did them at a really low price. So I knew that if I started them at a low price, there's already a huge demand. I was going to sell out. I was going to be fine. And I was. Typically, Sam, that's the approach I take, is I only sell a few of a certain item per show. Because you'll usually see me come back later on. Oh, hey, guess what? I have more of this collection. Thank you so much for that tip. I appreciate it. And who was that giveaway? Paul Prince and Gardens. That last giveaway is going to you. Congratulations. But that you have to think about how it's going to work for you too. If you're a jewelry seller and you have a big thing of rings, you can't do a whole show with just 2 rings, right? But maybe it's different types of rings. Same thing. I mean, with clothing, if you have 15, AC/DC t-shirts, you're probably not going to show one after another. You're going to put some in the bin. You're going to mix it up with some other rock bands. So it's just kind of thinking through the mix of your inventory. And that, I think, comes with like how you're curating your shows. So we talked sudden death. All right, I still have some time here. Let's see. Let's do another giveaway. Let's see what this next one is. Y'all, I have all these envelopes. So last time I showed you my disorganized bucket. Look at these are my giveaways now. I just grab an envelope. I don't know what you're getting. I just pull from the front and we find out together. I mean, I kind of know what's in them, but all right, this one, our next giveaway is this is some more bookmarks, inspirational cards, and a little seed thing you can plant. We're going to start that, and that is up and going, and that is number 5. All right. Okay. I love discounts. It's very easy to change your time, but you should practice because it does take extra time. And if you waste a lot of time, you can lose. Yes, exactly. Know what you're doing. This tool, like changing your times in sudden death, I would not recommend for your first 2 or 3 shows. Get used to clicking buttons. How does it work? Get to know your chat. And a lot of this depends on what you're selling too and how you sell. So yeah, absolutely. Get to know how to do the buttons first. Like I have an iPad sitting right here. I keep wanting to run my show on it. I have yet to figure out how to do it. So I just go back to my tried and true thing. I feel like I'm a brand new seller trying to use some hardware here. All right, show notes. Show notes is a tool for you. Okay, I'm just reading. You guys are talking to each other. Great. You can put your basic info, which is great. I don't even think I have. Did I put my show notes on? I did. Yep, there you go. So I put show notes in there. It's a good place. I'm kind of reading mine. You could tell people about yourself. I say that I prioritize my pre-bids and requests. Bid responsibly, no cancellations. Put your policies in there. Here's the other thing. If you don't like people to come in your show. They shouldn't anyways. As etiquette, they shouldn't come in your show and just advertise their show. But maybe you put it in there if you allow it or if you don't allow it. So it could be a source of information. But also you could put coupon codes in your show notes. So here's combining your show notes with coupon codes. And if you put it in right, it's like a backslash. If you look at under what not help, you do like the backslash and then your coupon code name. People don't even have to copy and paste. They can just click on that in your show notes and it automatically goes to their wallet. What a great way to get your people to use a coupon, right? So you can put coupons in there. Here's a fun thing I just thought about. What if you thought about it earlier, wrote it down. I kind of mentioned it. Hide something in your chat. Like, hey, the first person to tell me the name of the item that has a number 5 on it in my bin, I'll run the next item for $1. I'll run that item for $1. Make it fun. Encourage the chat. Use your show notes. Put something there. Put, hey, you guys, ask me about how I got my name. What is that going to do? Get your chat moving. What does a moving chat do? Puts you up in the algorithm, keeps the show engaging, right? So use these in combination. Think of unique ways that you can use your show notes to have fun in other parts or encourage use in other parts of your show. All right, so that's my show notes thing, right? We have about, let's see, I like show notes. This time I also created a poll and now I can't get it. And now I can't get the show notes. Is that typical or no, you should have both because I had show notes and a poll going for this one. So speaking of polls, I'm going to skip to my polls thing because I want to talk about this a little bit. This was something that I never really thought about until I heard Green 13 talking about it. And then the more I thought about it, I was like, this is really something, right? Thank you, Aloha. Load show notes first and then add the poll. You can change a viewer's or your viewer or your buyer's perception or perspective based on a poll that you do. Now, this was a little self-serving, but I wanted to use it for an example. If you came in at the beginning of the show today, I had a poll up there and it read something like, as a seller, I feel that my inventory records are complete and accurate. And it was a yes or no poll. Most people said no, which I kind of expected. But then what else did I have? On the screen in front of you, not only do I have this poll up here at the top, and then you would say no, you just move your eyes down a little bit. Here I have a PDF about inventory for you to buy to help you because you just said no, you're not comfortable, but look at this, I've just solved your problem, right? You can use polls to help drive sales, to help change perspectives. A few weeks ago, I put a poll up. If you can only pick one, what would you pick? Dollar starts or free shipping? I'm getting people to think about, oh, there's value in free shipping. She's giving me something. Or, oh yeah, that's pretty good. I'll pay $15 for this, but when I don't have to pay $9 for the shipping. So the way you word polls and how you use them could really have an influence on the buyer's perception of what's going on and change their buying behavior, or maybe not change, direct their buying behavior during that show. It sounds sneaky. I don't think it's sneaky. It's sales. It's normal. And I'm really against like car salesman techniques. Nothing against car salesmen. I just, those I don't know, those type of techniques. This is marketing. This is marketing and advertising. And this is understanding human behavior and using that in the best way possible. Who's going to win that giveaway? Southern Charm. Congratulations. That's going to you. Thanks so much for being here and being in so many of my shows. I appreciate it. All right, the next giveaway. Oh, we got another bird postcard. This one's pretty. Look at that one. Oh.
Thank you.
I knew he was going to play that. That's Southern Charm's favorite graphic we have is the butterfly. Oh, that's a new one. Oh.
That's a new one. That's a yellow one.
So when you get this really pretty bird postcard, they're good for framing. That's our next giveaway that's running right now. All right, that is number 6, just so I keep these straight. So using polls, think about creative ways. Now, don't overuse it. If you have a poll every single time someone comes in your room, they're going to get sick of it, right? And don't leave it up the whole time. Like, get some temperature of your room. You can also use polls for feedback. Like, hey, what would you guys rather see? And I've seen sellers do this, and I think it's great. Do you like Friday morning shows or do you like Friday evening shows? So if you're trying to gauge feedback from buyers, a poll is a good way to do that too. Let's see, there are several steps to PW. If she doesn't describe it, feel free to message me. Oh, okay. Do I need to describe that? I can describe that. To use a plain white envelope. So all my giveaways on my show, y'all, I don't do giveaways. We're about to actually talk about giveaways, maybe if I don't run out of time. I don't do giveaways on my selling shows because I do free shipping. That is my giveaway. I give you the gift of free shipping. On these chat shows, I just think it's fun, but I only do plain white envelopes because, y'all, I'm not going to pay $5 and run a million giveaways. I just can't. So to set up a plain white envelope, in your shipping settings from your seller's hub, you need to make sure plain white envelope is turned on. This is the same place that you pick ground, priority, however your general shipping settings are set. Make sure you have it turned on. Then when you set up your show, in your show, am I saying this right? No, has nothing to do with your show setup. Sorry. Then when you set up your items, I hope I'm not missing a step. I wasn't prepared for this question. When you set up your item, make sure your item is labeled as a sticker and 1 ounce for the weight. Then by having plain white shipping on in your settings and having it, I think you need to turn it on your show too. I'm pretty sure you got to turn it on your show. Yes, you do. Sorry. Go into your show. Make sure you're picking the plain white shipping in your show. Put your giveaway in as a sticker at 1 ounce. It has to be legit. Like it has to really fit in an envelope. Don't just say it does. Make it legit. Then when it runs, when you run the giveaway, you get that 73 cent or whatever that rate is. It's the first button. Thank you, Lisa B. Thank you. I love discounts. You guys, if I don't see your question, I'm trying to keep up. My mod did have to leave. If you didn't notice, he got very quiet. He had to take our daughter to cheer, but he's back now. So, all right. What is a maximum thickness? A 1/4 inch. 1/4 inch is the maximum thickness for a plain white envelope. So there are actually things, if you are not sure, if you're absolutely not sure, I mean, you can always measure, but they sell them super cheap on Amazon. They're like little plastic things that have a 1/4 inch opening. And if your envelope can't fit through that opening easily, then you know you're more than a 1/4 inch. So I think after you do a few of them, you get used to seeing what the 1/4 inch, and it can't be like bumpy or like you can't put anything that's like bumpy in there because it gets caught in the USPS machines. It has to be able to go through the machines easy and be bendable. Enough bendable. You can have a little bit of firmness. All right, using chat. This is another tool, you guys. We all know this. We know this is a social platform. This is nothing new to any of us. I love discounts. I'm not even going to go there. I'm probably blushing at this point. I know yes, you did. It's Lysandra's goal to trip up some of the people that she cares about. She will go into their shows and try to trip them up, and she absolutely got me. Usually I could weather it, but not today. This one, and at a time when we decided that we were both in the shower, I was selling, she was showering. And, okay, we're not going there. Using your chat, let's use the chat to our advantage. We know if we have an active chat, it helps us in the algorithm. I don't know exactly how the algorithm works, but we do know an active chat makes your algorithm better. It can liven up the room. It can change the whole vibe. I had a show one time, and learning how to deal with chat is a big thing. I had a show one time, somebody had a tragedy in their life, and they shared it in the chat. And it wasn't wrong that they shared it, but it was like an immediate, because it was like a life tragedy thing. An immediate vibe, like you just felt this curtain of dark fall over that show. I felt it, and it took me a long time to get through it. Curly Q, you got that giveaway. Thanks for being in the show. Shower, please. Shower power. Yes. So what your chat is saying, how it's going, will really totally influence the vibe of your show. Real quick, just a side note, if somebody puts something that's tragic, heartbreaking, because that will get shared in the shows. We become friends with people. This becomes this app that we feel that we can share with each other. I heard a piece of advice. Who was it from? Was it Natural State of High? It may have been Natural State of High I heard this from. That a good way to get past that is to acknowledge it. Like, hey, Bob, wow, I am so sorry that happened to you. Everybody, let's put some red hearts or purple hearts in the chat for Bob and show him that our thoughts and prayers are with him. And then move on to your next item. What does this do? You acknowledge it. You're paying attention to that person, right? You're acknowledging their pain, their fear, their heartache, whatever it may be. But you're also getting the chat involved. You're showing sympathy, empathy, not sympathy, empathy. and all of their hearts are moving his comment up and out of view to bring the vibe back. That is not my original idea. Natural State of High, and she may have heard it from somebody, I don't know, could be her original idea. I heard that and I'm like, okay, I'm filing that in the back of my head, because when it happened to me, when somebody shared something, I stumbled around for a long time, and it absolutely 100% affected the sales in that show. So live in the room, put the coupon codes. You can put a coupon code in the show notes. So that's a way to combine it, in the chat. That's a way to use that. Play games. We've been talking about it, that on Saturdays I've been playing games. I have never had a more active chat than when I got the chat involved in trying to guess things. And it was great. And I saw my numbers in my show go up because of it. So figure out ways to get them involved. And when I say games, I don't mean the spinny wheel and some of those things that you can do and whatnot. Like, I don't go into mystery boxes in the shady areas that have a lot of terms of service rules around it. We're just talking about, Saturday Scrabble game, ways that you can, for me, it was every time somebody bought something, I would show another letter. I would say, hey, it's a 10-letter word. And I would show a letter every time somebody bought something. And when they guessed the word, and the letters were all scrambled, whoever guessed the word, congratulations, you guessed it. They got props for being so smart. And I ran the next item on my list for $1 as a reward to the whole chat. I think games are best when you can get the whole chat involved and they're not focused on one person winning. Running something for $1 start benefits the whole chat, gives everybody equal chance if that's something they want. Playing the game, everybody had equal chance to put answers in. How many times will Lysandra chat got words to answer a game to win nothing? Exactly. Chat GDP words to answer. And it's okay if they're using Chat GDP. Like, we're like, I don't care most people aren't cheating. They're not invested enough to cheat. As long as you're playing and talking and having fun, that's all I care about. Ask questions. We all do this, ask questions, but think about the questions you ask. We talk a lot about ice cream. It seems like everything that comes through a thing, we can put ice cream in it. So we do a lot about ice cream. So what's your favorite ice cream flavor? Put in the chat your favorite ice cream flavor. This is the reason why you see so many sellers say, hey, first time buyer, put ducks in the chat, put this in the chat. They're keeping that chat active. They're keeping you engaged, right? So come up with unique ways to incorporate your chat. Offering choice items. It's a great way, one, to increase bid price. So maybe if you offer a choice item, you can play with your auction time and you're involving the chat. Or you could pick up two items. You could pick up two items and you can say, all right, chat, look, I got these two items. Which one do you want me to run for $1? One or two? Gets them involved, right? All of a sudden, people are typing ones or twos in the chat. So think about ways to involve the chat like that. I was always trying to get a chat going. And it's hard. And let me tell you, I swear my first few shows, I'm like, people just don't like me. Like, they just don't talk to me. Now, a lot of that was me. I'm a huge introvert, and small talk is extremely difficult for me. You will see. You come to my shows on a regular basis, you have witnessed more than one awkward moment where I'm like, and you can see that my brain's spinning and I'm trying to talk and I'm not quite sure what to say because I'm awkward and I'm an introvert. The more you practice it, the better it gets. So that's the chat thing. I think there's unique ways to get them involved. You just got to think outside the box. Southern Charm, you have issues with. See, I think a lot of people do. But I think you get over it. You might agree, the more you do this, the better you get. So a lot of it's practice. And then, I spend a lot of time trying to think of ways to talk to the chat. How can I involve them? What can I say? When I'm putting up my products, I'm putting stuff out. I'm like, oh, that's a really cool fact about this. Let me remember that for when I'm selling it. Or maybe I can ask this question when I'm selling this. I spend a lot of time thinking about it because I know how my natural tendencies are. I'm a huge extrovert, and it's so hard when the chat is silent. That can affect you. That can bring you down, right? When you're a talker and you're used to that interaction in social settings with people, not having an active chat can really affect your vibe, right? Tony's job. You are the eye candy. I love discounts. You're dancing in the background. Y'all, if you have never gone to an I Love Discounts show, y'all need to. One of all, Tony is funny as all get out. Just listening to him, he's entertaining. And then Lysandra's back there and she's doing her thing dancing. So I don't dance. That's all you get right there. All right. It is 9:03. I do have a day job that I have to go to. I'll answer this question. I'm going to do one more thing. We only got halfway through my list, so we'll have to pick this up again at another day. Music, what's accepted and what's off limits? Anything copyrighted is off limits. Plain and simple. My husband will talk to you.
So if you plan to multicast and you're multicasting to YouTube and you're using copyrighted music, your post will be flagged and it won't be posted. So unless you clear that, the YouTube will just be not published. So it's in your best interest to find royalty-free music.
There you go. There's my husband's words of wisdom for you right there. But basically, yeah, royalty-free is always okay. You'll never get in trouble for royalty-free. Now, having said that, just about every other seller on here, you hear the latest country station, the latest rock station going on in the background. I don't know. It's not something I'm willing to risk. Are you just probably going to get your hand slapped the first time? Yeah, probably. But that is up to you as a seller to determine what your risk level is and make that decision appropriately for you. Keep in mind, when you're playing from your like Alexa device in the background, a lot of times if you're on an iPhone, it filters out background noise. People can't hear it. And what we do hear is a muffly noise. It doesn't always come across nice, crisp, and clear. Is it okay if you're only, nope, even Whatnot says that you cannot use, you have to use royalty-free music on Whatnot. Again, does everybody follow that? No. Is Whatnot, if Whatnot ever gets some big lawsuit from a bunch of artists, they're probably going to crack down hard. Who knows? It's your risk level. As a seller, you need to determine your risk level. It is no different. Let me just put this in real life terms. It is no different than when you get in your car and you go on the highway and it says 55. Do you always drive 55? Or do you do like me and drive 65? I have a higher tolerance for speeding. I'm willing to take a little bit of risk that highway patrol ain't going to catch me. But on Whatnot, my risk tolerance is lower. I'm not a risk taker on Whatnot. You go exactly 13 over. Okay. Y'all, quick story here. I can't try. No, quick story. Literally, I was driving. We're heading down to Atlanta for a cheer competition. I had me and my daughters in the car, and I'm cruising in my truck. I'm just cruising. I got pulled over. My husband's shaking because you got to hear the funny part of the story. I get pulled over. She's like, "Ma'am, did you know you were going 85? Like in a 55? I'm like, nope, did not know. This lady let me go. She let me go. Like, she goes, yeah, anything over 20 is automatic going to jail. How would I explain going to jail? Y'all, my husband is a federal law enforcement officer. How would I call my husband and say, honey, I was going 30 over the speed limit. Come bail me out in Atlanta. Like, that would not have been good. So I kind of learned my lesson. Yeah, now it's funny. It was not funny at the time. I was like shaking. Now it's funny. All right, I want to talk about one last thing. Yeah, anything over 20 in certain states is automatic. They can just arrest you right on the spot. In certain states, like, and I don't know which states are which, but Georgia is definitely one of them. Well, was I in Georgia then or South Carolina? I don't know. I was in Georgia then, yeah. Cruise control, yeah. You all see, that's it. Lucky that's why. I'm from California originally. It's in my blood. I can't help it. It's part of my DNA to drive fast. My husband's rolling his eyes at me. Okay, the last thing I'm going to talk about today, because I think this is a really cool tool for buyers. Sellers, you can use it to help your buyers. So as a buyer, if you go into the shop, once you're in that shop, there's a filter button there. Did you know you can filter by title, creation date, see what's new, see what's old, by category? You can filter by price, by the type of format it is. So as a seller, you can say, hey, go down in my shop. There's a little filter button on the top of that shop. You can filter everything by price. I got a bunch of $2 items you can fill your box up with. Or, hey, everybody, I just put a bunch of Christmas items in my bin. Go check it out. You can use that filter and filter right to the holiday items. So I never really played with this that much until I was kind of trying to come up with some notes. I'm like, this is really cool. So this is something I'm going to utilize more. Do you guys, as buyers, do you utilize the filtering when you're looking in shops? We're perfect. So go down to the little shop menu. I don't know here because I don't have a lot in my auction tab here if you're going to see it. But if you're in somebody's show who like has a lot in their bin, like a selling show, go into their shop. Then the shop will appear on the screen. There's a little filter button on the top left. If you click that filter button, all kinds of options will come up. Lisa B, yes, there's a search. So you can search if you know like a number or a name, or if you're looking for butter pads, you can type in butter. But they have a little filter button and you get all these options that you can sort the list. What if somebody has like 200 items? I can sort it by price if I'm just trying to fill my box with low priced items. Yep, there you, yeah. So you see it, great. So maybe you have something new to learn, something new here with the filters today. I mean, I think it's awesome. You can put, if I want to put Christmas items, I can make sure I put Christmas in the title and say, hey, everybody, you can use the search bar by Christmas. But if you're also putting it in the right category, they can search by category. Is it okay if someone asks for something in the chat and the seller doesn't have it to send a person? Show Lay Hampton? No, unless the seller says so. I think it's bad etiquette. Sellers, please pitch in here and tell me your perspective. My personal opinion is that's poaching and that's not good etiquette. However, if the seller says, somebody asked me, hey, Tracy, do you have lighters for sale today? And I'm like, no, I don't. But if anybody in the chat has them, please message that person. If the seller invites you to, I think that's okay to message them privately. Never, ever, yes, never put it in the chat. No, or not even message the person. That's poaching on the side. So if somebody comes and says, Tracy, do you have lighters? And I say, no, I'm so sorry. And I move on. Just keep your mouth shut, move on. Don't say anything, don't message them. But if the seller says, hey, I don't have that, but I know somebody else in the chat might have that, please message Bob Smith over here and let them know. Then absolutely it's okay to message on the side. But other than that, no, it's really bad etiquette. It probably will get you blocked from people's shows. And I think a lot of people are kind of saying, yep. And Southern Charm says sometimes if you don't have it, but you can say, hey, but you know what? It's in storage. I can have it in my next show for you. That's a great way too, to keep that buyer coming back to you. So, all right, you guys, with that, I could sit here and talk. We are on number 11. I have up to number 21 of things. So we will pick this back up on a Friday show. I have a couple ideas on shows coming up. So I think we're going to continue next week with this. I see the question. I'll get it. I think we're going to continue with this because this has been really cool. Like I like hearing other people's ideas too on how they're using these tools. And then I want to talk about facilitation. So not next week, but probably in 2 weeks, we're going to do a whole show because most of us aren't salesmen, right? Does anybody go into this because like, I'm the greatest person in sales, right? Most of us just admit it. A lot of us are introverts. Selling, being on camera might not be the second nature thing to us. And it can be a little intimidating. What if we change our perspective and we're not sellers, we're facilitators? I've got a whole bunch of thoughts around this that I think may just kind of give you a different viewpoint, something to think about. So we're going to get to that in a couple of weeks. Let's see. I had a buyer come in and say she wants to make what I sell and put it in her shop. Tenacity Ridge. That is so hard to deal with. Y'all that's just not cool. As sellers, don't copy other people. Like there's some level of copying that I think is acceptable. You know, like putting PDFs in your thing if you have some unique knowledge you want to share. Looking how like they sell, like using different methods, I think is okay. We've talked about methods here. I think that stuff's okay. But if somebody has made a unique handmade product and you try to copy it, that's just not cool. Well, let me tell you, if you are to the point where you can sell your handmade product on Whatnot, it's because you've invested years probably perfecting that skill. You are at a level far greater than somebody walking in off the street saying, oh, I can make that. Let them make it. Excuse my language, it's going to be shitty, right? They're not going to do a good job. They don't have the experience you have. It's not cool, but you know what? Don't worry about them. Focus on you. and your expertise. All right, y'all. Let's see. Am I missing anything? Thank you guys so much for hanging out today. Sam, I was just about to talk about books. People in my show, I just live to talk about books. People in my shows also love to talk about, there you go. Perfect. Yeah, that is, see, and it's so fun when you get your tribe. They say find your tribe, and it's kind of a cheesy saying, but it's so true. It is so true. And I have found some great people on here, and I'm so glad they come into my shows. I really am. Y'all, it's gotten to the point now where I'm packing orders, and if my daughter sees 2 or 3 boxes, she's like, oh, is that for such and such? I won't call people out here. You know who you are. Or she'll hear a voice and she's like, oh, you're watching Jeremy, or you're watching Tony and Lysandra. Like, she'll just hear, she recognizes my Whatnot friends by their voices. So it's so fun. But all right, with that, I am going to go. Thank you guys. Have a great weekend. Hopefully come to my show. And don't forget Battle of the Best. We're going to go raid somebody. I don't know who's on. Let's go see. Is Southern, don't call you out like that. Is Natural State of High on? We can go raid Natural State of High. Or how about Green 13? I haven't raided into Green 13 in forever. Let's go see Green 13.
Honey, what are you doing?
Nothing?